What is going on, everybody? How we doing? How are we doing? Currently Tuesday, Sydney time, 8 a.m. How is everyone doing? It is so freaking cold over here, man. I'm struggling. Struggle city right now. So I've just connected my Mac and I now have a second screen. Check this out. See that? I got a second screen, man. So now I'm not just live streaming off of one screen anymore. I got I got a third screen here, but it's my laptop. It doesn't really count. But now I have three screens and I feel like there's like a different level of like power in my fingertips. I don't know. It's weird. It's a bit of a weird feeling. Like I feel like I can do so much more now. So I don't know if you're still on that one screen grind. Like, man, just know maybe it's time for you to upgrade. Jonathan Chandler, I'm doing good, bro. How are you doing? Helios, hope you're doing well, man. New profile pic, looking good. Medjool AI, I'm doing well, brother. Good to see you back in the chat. So I got a few things we want to do today. So just to keep you guys up to scratch, yesterday we repurchased I think for me it's $300, for you guys it's $200. The $300 20x max Codex plan, and we've just been trying to go through our usage limits. So apparently I have 0 usage remaining. I have 4 weekly resets available. So look at this. All I got to do now, I'm assuming, is I just got to press one of these, confirm, and then bam, just like that, man. Can Claude start doing this? Can Claude please start doing this? I just reset my weekly usage limit. So the plan is we're just going to blast Codex. All right, we're just going to pump Codex Soul. Let me check my Claude usage as well real quick. I do want to use Fable for a little bit of code review and orchestration. Doing good, thanks. Love the chat vs Grok vs Fable video. Pretty good. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate you, brother. Glad I could help. It was such a pain getting that video out because I was trying to be one of the first people. I literally filmed, scripted, edited, and posted with 3 different thumbnails to A/B test all in a single day. It was like a huge 15, 16 hour work day. And I just pumped it because I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. And it paid off, man. It's a well-performed video. Fable, we've got about 70% of our usage left. And then after that, we'll have to see if Claude keeps Fable. Otherwise, I'll probably cancel my subscription because Codex is doing all of that and more. Going back into, let me go through my to-do list today. So I want to build Ace Bench from inside Ace. I think let's start light. This is probably the first major build we are kind of working on and iterating inside of Ace. The second thing I want to run long loops. And what I mean by that is I want to utilize Matthew Berman's loop library. And I want to test some of these out because we've just got so much Codex usage, guys. We have so much usage. I'm literally trying to find ways to burn tokens right now. And so I want to go through this library with you guys and hopefully we can find something, a couple loops. There's some really cool ones here. The housekeeper loop, error message rewrite loop, the architecture satisfaction loop. There's a bunch of really interesting loops here. The full product evaluation loop. Keen to test some of this out. Then we're going to, if Ace Bench is clean, we're going to start building Ace from inside of Ace. I also want to make it Claude Design compatible. What I mean by this is right now when you design something inside of Claude Design and you bring it to Conductor, it is actually unable to copy it precisely. And so I want to make it that inside of Ace, it's able to copy it precisely. That's going to be a big upgrade for me personally, to use Ace more. And then also system prompt generation button. I want to make it so that this little system prompt inside of these chatbots can be regenerated into more thorough system prompts. So what I kind of mean by that is right now inside of ACE, we have two ways of building your board. You've got your build from scratch, and you've got your build a team right up here. Build from scratch, build a team. Build a team runs you through this setup flow. I can show you real quick if you like. I want to build a Pokemon collection app. So for example, that would be the title. You could also connect a GitHub repo if you wanted to, that already exists. Then just hit continue. All you got to do here is now talk to it for like a minute, explaining your idea. Now, I don't have that much time. You can press this button if you want. It'll record your voice. I'm just going to use Whisperflow. I want to create a Pokemon app that basically uses my camera on my phone to scan the Pokemon card that I have in front of it and give me an estimated value range. And then it's going to analyze that question and gauge, okay, what sort of questions do I need to ask back to clarify the mission? And this is going to help it form a team, so the end result is less blurry. So which phone should the first version work on? That's a pretty important question. I was thinking iPhone, but I didn't mention that. So I'll say iPhone. What should the estimated value be based on? I'd say recent sold items sounds good, as well as graded prices. I like that it's picked multiple choice here, which is good. That means it's working as intended. What should appear after a card is scanned? Card details, value range, save to collection, price example, maybe just that. When should you consider the first version good and done? I'd say common cards scan reliably. Yeah, done. And then continue. And now you can build out your team. So for this, you could do up to 7, you could do up to 2, 3, you could do 4. Apologies, a little sick right now. But I'm probably going to stick with 3. Go continue. I just feel like 3 is a good sweet spot. Now, you could either do a once-off build or you could do a recurring build. This would be like if you wanted to create a daily newspaper, for example, when you create a cron job and it weekly generates that newspaper for you, or maybe, daily, weekly, you could do monthly, on demand, however you like. But this is a once-off build. And now it's going to build out the team. And what's really cool about this is like, I don't really use Gemini that much. So I'm just going to swap Gemini out. Oh, I could use Grok. Grok's a new addition to the team. I could use Claude. I could use Codex. And what's really neat is it's already built out this system prompt for you based off of what you're trying to build. So this is really neat and handy. This is the plan role. And once you're done here, you can see you've got your team here. You've got your research, you've got your plan, and you've got the build. All you got to do is then create project. And here you go. You now have your agent team. And you can double click on here. You can see that they've got specific skills connected. Over here, you can see that you can see the skills connected to them there. You can see Claude is already typing. And yeah, it's working like that. So this is Ace. This is what I've been working on, my little pride and joy. I've already found a problem. So let's go ahead and start debugging that. Let's go inside of Conductor. That's dope. Good for you. I bet ChatGPT Terra and Sol didn't even work with OpenClaw, but Hermes is kicking ass and taking names for me for sure. Lol. Nice. Looking forward to your live sesh. Thanks, bro. That's dope. W find, gel gum. Are you talking about Loop Library? Such a good find. 1K in a month, lock in. Monster Dev. Let's go. We locked in, baby. All right, so let me just take a screenshot of this. So we recently changed our app quite significantly, and I feel like a lot of the prior features are lagging behind a little bit. One of the main updates that we made is we no longer have an output block. because we just felt like it was a bit too confusing. And so now what happens is the AI agent themselves kind of are the output block. And I'm noticing that this change has kind of broken the ACE build a team feature, because once you finish building the team, it ends up looking like this picture. However, with the new update, it should probably look something closer to this. Can you please just verify what's going on? Because like even in that first screenshot, you can see nothing's connected. That workflow would have worked if the stages were connected to each other. However, the stages are not even linked together, so it wouldn't work. So can you please just review what's going on and what needs to kind of happen for the build a team to work? Once you feel like you've solved the problem, please do a thorough review, making sure that that is the best output. We're basically trying to move over the build a team functionality into the new updated app system that we've got. Rich Ducat, how we doing, bro? Gen Z, what's good? Hope you guys are doing well. So we've made a few changes here. This is the taste skill. Let me just confirm that this is pre-merged. Let me merge to dev. This is released. Let me confirm this is merged to dev as well. By the way, this prompt went for 316 minutes. Like, holy shit. I'm pretty sure this alone like pumped through my Codex usage, which is crazy. Please merge to dev. Merge to dev. This is a comparison of open code. We'll check in that a second. Merge to dev. Pretty sure this one's already merged to dev. Last video popped off. Big W, man. Thanks, Midjul. Appreciate that. Hey, bro, what is your project you're working on in 2 sentences? Just explain that. Mine is called Arctic Horror for Android. Bitcoin Rich AI, is that an app you're working on? This reminds me of Canvas, but way better. Bro, trust, man. Ace is where it's at, because we now have a group chat functionality in here, and you can literally tag each individual agent that you want to talk to. Or if you want, you could just tag the entire team. And so this makes it really handy when you have these teams, is you can either talk to the entire team, picture like a Slack group chat. You can literally talk to the entire team, or you can just talk to a specific person from the team. And you know, one of our biggest issues with ACE initially was that you couldn't connect skills. Now we've just implemented skills. You can browse our skills library. I'll be updating this with my favorite skills as well. So you're going to get like literally the best skills on the market consistently inside of ACE. Right now, we've just got the Claude and Anthropic official skills just for early testing, but this is quickly going to expand. But yeah, and it's really neat because you can kind of see what skills your agent has based off of these little circles that rotate around it. That's dope. Where do you go to get on ACE? There's a link in the description. So at the top of the description, you'll see a link and you can join from there. Now it is a paid subscription. That's the whole point of this challenge, Vibecoding until I hit 100K. So unfortunately I couldn't make it free, but yeah. You see BridgeMine's MRR got nuked by Sol? Yo, yeah, let's have a chat about this. Guys, this actually scared the shit out of me. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that BridgeMine made, but this actually scared me. Like, I was like, damn, I gotta start supervising Sol. So basically, look at this. GPT 5.6 Sol cannot be trusted. I woke up this morning and my MRR was down thousands of dollars. My customers did not cancel. Code written by GPT 5.6 Sol canceled every active Stripe subscription my business had in 7 seconds while I slept. Fable 5 has never done this to me. Fable 5 can be trusted with production. GPT 5.6 cannot. How crazy is that? What happened? The mistake. It canceled every active subscription, not one account. Like, dude, how crazy is that? That is an insane mistake. That is like terrible. Low peak Vibecoding, man. Yeah, I know. Dude, it's just made me realize, like, man, I really can't be giving Codex access to my Stripe account, at least not in the near term. Now, I'm sure the Codex team, you know, they're very on top of this thing. So now they're going to see all this. This got quite a lot of reach, obviously. So they're going to see this and they're going to reverse engineer how to avoid doing this again. This is really good, but hard to sell it as a SaaS from my perspective. Unless this subscription include the Claude and Codex, you can do that, I think, if you're going to sell it as SaaS. DevRealm, that's where you're wrong, bro. Because if the Codex and Claude subscription is included in the plan, I have to pay the API bills. And the API bills are 20x more expensive than your subscription bill. So what Ace does really intuitively that a lot of other apps similar to it, like N8N, don't do, is it connects to your subscriptions. So you can see I've got Grok here. I don't even pay for Grok. I just have the Twitter Pro plan. So if you have the Twitter Pro plan to get the verification, you literally have access to Grok. I'm not paying for it. I've got access to it. Gemini CLI, first couple generations free. Codex CLI, first couple generations free. Claude as well, first couple generations free. So these are literally all free for like a few runs. If I was to provide this to my users, I would have to pay for the API billing. And obviously I'm not going to lose money in my pocket. So I'd have to charge my customers more, and it will be to a level where it's not fun for anyone. I'd be charging way too much, and I feel like the value I'm providing is not much better. Where do you, we have to collab, bro. I literally have the best paid media buyer skill ever. A skill that will literally create emails on custom domain, create a buffer account, multiple social accounts and content. Rich Ducat, bro. Gotta hit me up, DM me, bro. He's just being lazy and not accountable. I have it controlling so many Stripe accounts with guardrails. Sol is even better with the tools. Damn, Rich Ducat. Good to see, bro. Good to see you going hard. Are you making Second Brain YouTube video? Not really. I've been playing around. I haven't gotten to the level of having a quote unquote second brain. I think it's a little bit of a I think it's a bit excessive, only to because you got to consider, like, for me personally, I like having passive tools to help me with what I'm building. That's kind of why I built Ace, because, you know, I can literally set up cron jobs, I can set up loops, I can do orchestrations, I can do all these things that are very passive, and I do it once and I don't have to fix it. Yeah, DM on Discord, Rich. But something like a second brain, you have to constantly keep updated. You need to constantly go in there and you need to change things, you need to add things. It's kind of annoying. It's just not for me. Personally, the setup is not for me. I feel like it's almost like one of them influencer buzzwords that people are using. I'm yet to see someone who I actually respect use it. I don't know. Jmart, I respect you, bro. Are you using a second brain? Like, if Jmart's not using it, then I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not going to lie. I just feel like it's one of them influencer buzzwords right now that everyone's throwing around. Oh, you need a second brain. Like, the whole point of a second brain is because of Obsidian. Basically, the value proposition is that you have Obsidian and Obsidian organizes your files, and you can connect Claude to it. That's as far as I've gone. But what I'm seeing these influencers do is they're going above and beyond and like adding all these additional data points and adding all these things that they're bookmarking and saving for later. And I'm just like, I don't know, it just seems a bit unnecessary. I already use Obsidian inside of Claude, not to the level of these influencers saying that they have a second brain, but yeah. Makes complete sense. So ACE is for multi-agents running to multiple AI models to assist. Exactly. So ACE is essentially a harness. And the way that I look at ACE is picture Claude app, picture Conductor, picture Cursor. ACE is in that kind of range. And it's basically an agent harness. And I didn't even know that I was building an agent harness when I first started building ACE. I just wanted to build an environment that was fun to build inside of. And the whole concept is, if you're new to AI and if you're new to vibe coding and you're hearing all these things like loops, orchestrations, and all these different things, but you don't know how to use them, ACE is basically your environment that will allow you to do these more complicated things with all you got to do is drag, drop, and connect the dots. So for example, in here, I'm just going to right click and I can now orchestrate. So now I can have Claude up here orchestrate 2 Codex agents, and you can see this little lead label here. That means it's orchestrating. And what's cool is now, because Fable is obviously quite costly, I can get Fable to orchestrate 2 cheaper models and save on my token usage for Fable. And this isn't just any orchestration, okay? Because you can actually do this with using .md files and skills. This is a bit more complicated than that, because this actually gives a Fable or whatever model you use to orchestrate a lot more context. For example, no matter how many AI agents you connect down here, it's going to know its team. So you can see here, it's updated up here as well in the group chats. You can tag each one individually. For example, I'll just tag build2 and be like, hey, how you doing? And I can literally talk to the build2 agent. So you're not isolated to just talking to the lead. You can talk to each agent individually. And this is really important when certain tasks are being handed off to certain agents. And what's really neat about Orchestrate is in the settings, you can choose how many times you want to iterate. So for example, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, there's multiple iterations you can do. And so you're limited with like a .md or a skill where you can't kind of set these additional kind of rules and context. All you can say is like, use Codex to do this and Codex to do that. But what's really neat about Fable as well is, and orchestrating inside of ACE, is if one of these AI agents does something wrong, Fable reviews what it's done, and then based off of its output, either gives it a second task or gives it feedback. Show an example of real prompt. Yes, I will be doing that in a second with ACE Bench. Do you ever plan ahead before implementing code? So considering edge cases and also fallback solution for problems. The furthest that I do with planning ahead is all I do is I go inside of Claude Design and you just go, I'll literally build out the feature. So for example, with ACE Bench, you can kind of see this is the feature. I kind of designed it inside of Claude Design, and this gives me an idea of how it's going to look. So for those who are new that don't know what ACE Bench is, I basically think that benchmarks are a scam. I don't know if you guys looked at the recent Cursor bench, but they basically in the fine print said that Grok cheated. If you look here, Grok 4.5 has an advantage on Cursor bench. An earlier snapshot for the Cursor codebase was unintentionally included in training. The exact score impact is unclear. Like, it's like, what the hell, dude? You basically used corrupted metrics to rank Grok 4.5 highly. And so what I want to do is I want to create a people's choice bench, and I'm calling it ACE Bench. And basically the people decide which models are the best based on their outputs. And they're basically going to do blind votes and vote on which model is the best. And based off of the people's choice, we're going to have this kind of chart cost per generation, people's votes, and we're going to have this little sweet spot here. And I think this is going to be really nice to kind of break that stigma on benchmarks, because I feel like everyone's kind of, rigging these benchmarks a little bit. I have a similar program set up to this. This is multi-model also, but runs on a DJX Spark. I like a UI, but still feel it isn't there. Not saying my UI is any better, it's shit also, but it's hard to get like a great UI for multi-agent use. I feel you. Rankly design, I feel you. I'm pretty happy with my design, to be honest. I think it's very easy to just, be able to connect things together. What's really neat as well is you can kind of drag and create a stage and say, now this is one thing. And basically when that happens, after these guys are finished with an output, I can now connect another AI agent. And so based off of the output, I can literally double click on here. And for the system prompt, I can say, synthesize stage 1's output and give me a feedback in a way that is super easy to understand. 12, and then I'll probably say high school English. High school grade English. There you go. And so now these guys are going to go off and do everything. And then this agent's going to send a message recapping everything that these guys have done. And so it's really, and then one thing I do need to change is the skills. So I probably need to get rid of these. I think by default, they should be turned off. So let me just add that into here. I think by default, skills should be turned off. I think it's just, a bit unnecessary when you have a front-end design skill connected to an agent and all they're going to do is send me a text. Do you have an MCP for the agents to pull context from? Yes, there is an internal MCP. So it's not accessible for everyone yet, but internally, it's accessible for the AI agents to understand the app. So yes, there is an MCP just for the AI agents internally, and we're improving it every day because it is a pretty new feature. We probably released it last week. But yeah, MCP is super important because you need to give your agent contextual knowledge on the environment that it's inside of. And there's two ways that I've found you can do this. One is through the system prompt, which is actually what Conductor does. And it does a pretty good job, to be honest. Like this is Conductor, what I like to use to vibe code. And you can see every time I open up a Codex instance, I click on this and you'll be able to see there is literally this big system prompt that gets sent into the Codex knowledge base. You are working inside Conductor, a Mac app that lets you, the user, run many coding agents in parallel. So Conductor uses a system prompt. We do both. So we use an MCP and a system prompt. I haven't checked the system prompt in a while, so I do need to do that. Anyone in the chat, remind me later, please. But yeah, this is kind of how ACE is set up. Now, what I'm looking to do, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit distracted, is this is ACE Bench. We've kind of gotten decent ways into building it. Now I think what we can do is we can build inside of ACE. And there's one piece missing for this to work, and it's .envs. So I want to establish .envs inside of ACE. And I think the way that we can do this is we create a secrets tab in the settings. And inside of these secrets, users can paste their API keys and stuff like that. And this will let the agents be able to utilize these, for example, Cloudflare workers, be able to use my Postgres, if you need to hook up a database, if you need to hook up a domain, for example, resend for emails, be able to hook up all these different APIs that you need to run a business and to, build an app. Currently, inside of ACE, we can't do this. And so what I want to do is I want to create a really secure .env environment, coined as secrets. And basically users can paste their API keys and secrets inside of here, and then agents have access to it to make changes. I might even plan mode with Fable. And this is what I kind of love doing at the moment is I love getting one agent to plan or come up with the code, and I get the other agent to review and build. So right now I'm going to use Fable 5 to plan the feature, and I'll use extra high, and then based off of its plan I'm going to send it to GPT 5.6 Sol and build from there. Makes sense with planning with UI, but from my experience sometimes things break you don't imagine and may end up spending more time cleaning up. My biggest advice is imagine that your first paying user is an 80-year-old rich grandma that is willing to buy your best plan forever, but has no idea how to use AI. I think what's really neat about Ace is the fact that you can build a team, because this literally holds your hand as if you are an 80-year-old grandma, and it will literally help you get that first project going. And so this is like literally the most beginner friendly thing you can think of. And I think the best way for me to show you is by just playing the onboarding. But yeah, check this out. Hey, welcome to Ace. To get started, go ahead and click new project. So I have this interactive onboarding that when users come onto Ace for the very first time, they're not left blind, okay? I literally pop up as a screen inside of Ace, and I'm like, hey, to get started, go ahead and click right here. And the tutorial does not play until you click this button. Watch. Okay, let me take it from here. This is the Ace onboarding flow. Here you can share your project and Ace will create the team to help build it. Let me show you. First, you need to name your project. For this example, I want to build an auto script writer. And I'll literally walk them through how to build your project, and by using the own app that is on their screen. Keeping up with everything happening in the world of AI can be hard, so I want to automate the entire process. From research to script generation, every morning I want to wake up to one short form script around AI and vibe coding. I'll also drag in my product requirements document that I generated earlier, and we're good to go. All right, now this page helps the AI ask. This is really neat and handy because it literally walks them through step by step what needs to happen for this to work. Like, I don't know how much more hand holding I can provide here, you know? Now it's time to select your team size. It's important to note the bigger the team, like this is, as someone non-technical who started vibe coding only like 80 days ago, I understand the pain points of a non-technical person and I'm just trying to solve them one by one. This Here I want it to run every morning, so I'll select daily. That is really me. Here yes. You'll be able to customize your team. You can swap out different models for different roles and edit their system prompt if you like. I recorded For example, I actually want Gemini for research because it has access to Google. And I don't use Gemini for review. Probably should update that. And there it is. I now have an AI team that autonomously writes scripts for me every single day. Now, I'll leave you two to get to know each other. What's really neat, I already have something called Auto Script Writer, but what's really neat is when you're using Ace for the very first time, it's built out this system for you to just copy. And so now, as someone who's never used Ace before, you can see, oh look, I got this team of AI agents that are now working for me inside of Auto Script Writer. So they visually can see, oh, this is what it looks like. And that is a huge step in getting, I feel like I tried to get that delight moment. And I feel like that onboarding gives users that delight moment. Anyway, I hope that helps answer some of your questions. Rankly design. But now I'm getting a bit off topic and I want to start vibe coding. So let's go ahead and get into things. And I should probably start deleting some of these because a lot of these are tests. So let me delete some of this stuff. And seeing how many there are, like I'm starting to realize could probably get like a multi-delete option where I select multiple at once. You can see how many tests I've done. Thanks for showing. Nice project. All good, bro. All good. Good questions to ask. Yeah. You know how the create a team automatically makes a team? Why can't it auto make an orchestrator? That's a good point. That's a good point. I think that is the next level of build a team. I think that's a very good question, Bimbe. I think the way that I look at it is the app came first and then the build a team function came after. And now improvements to the app have arrived and the build a team function is lagged behind a little bit with these improvements. And so now what I have to do is make build a team like connect to those improvements that I've made. And so we made quite a few improvements in the dev app. I'm kind of curious to see what's going on here. Thinking. This already has local secrets.txt. We'll save delete route. Okay, so let me just check taste skill. All right, so we made a huge change into the Ace developer app. How do I complement this with my current OpenClaw and Hermes? Do you set up a Telegram or something for it? Is it able to talk to my OpenClaw or Hermes agent? That is a good point. That's a good question. Well, it can send emails. Currently, the only forward distribution that it can provide is emails. Now that is obviously going to change. I'm going to add additional things like, I want it to be able to create a Discord bot, for example. I want it to be able to do these additional things. But right now, the only forward-facing thing it can do outside of building apps and hosting them on your local host is sending emails. And eventually, I'd like to push this to be able to do much more than that. But for now, it's just emails. I'd like this to I want this to be the everything app. Like someone can literally come on here, connect a YouTube account, and then they're able to generate images and create videos out of the images and then post them on YouTube all inside of Ace. Long term, that's the goal. But right now, the scope is smaller. But that's definitely on the list. So what I did was I got Fable to use this taste skill. And I asked it to come up with a bunch of micro improvements that would make the app funner and improve the overall UI UX experience. And so, wait, did Codex remove 5-hour limit? Yes, they did. So it's really cool because it's came up with a bunch of things and I've just added them all inside of the Ace developer app. So let's test this together, guys. This is a live reaction. I haven't looked at this, but I'm expecting a big change. I'm expecting noises, I'm expecting animations, I'm expecting a lot from this update. I open it up and it's just completely unusable. Oh, see, even that, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's already a difference. When you open Ace for the first time, all of these came together in like a domino effect. That is new. Even that is a new delight moment. So if I click on this, okay. I'm not noticing too much different. Let me just ask at everyone, who is the strongest man in the world? Just keep it simple. I'm just trying to test new features. Sending. Adding to current work, 0 of 3. This is new. This is kind of nice. It's showing who is replying to it right now. Adding to current work, 0 of 3. So I'm curious what that actually means. As the creator, even I'm lost. So maybe that's not a good thing. So Codex, now the lead, has sent the orchestrators a task. Codex and Alfred, strongest man is ambiguous, so we need to distinguish the current title holder from broad strength records and historical claims, verify current information from authoritative sources, and avoid presenting a subjective judgment as settled fact. I'm verified the latest official world's strongest man result and will return the qualified direct answer to the orchestrator. So that's this one talking right here, and you can see which one's talking by seeing the little chat bubbles. What do you think of Google AI Studio in general? I think it's good, but it's lagging a little behind. The only reason I used it ever was due to VO3 and using it to generate videos. Nowadays, I've been using Higgsfield, CDance, Arcads, and that sort of stuff. So I've been using it a lot less. I do think Google in general is a bit behind in the AI race. I don't know if you guys agree, but yeah, they kind of need. But I also think they're kind of in a different gate entirely. Like Codex and Claude, they're very heavily focused on coding and getting vibe coders to be able to build apps with code and AI. But if you notice, Google's taken a different route. With Gemini, they're trying to get it to be the everything AI. So you obviously see that they've got it in Google owns Android. So they're trying to get Gemini to literally be operating Android. Google's got like the new car mode, so Gemini inside of a car. They're trying to operate Gemini inside of literally your mobile device. They've literally created MacBooks. They've created laptops now where there's a button you press and it opens up Gemini, and it's like a laptop specifically built around Gemini. So you can see that they're trying to take this different lane. So it's hard to see and tell whether Google's winning or losing the AI race, because they're in a completely different kind of area when it comes to these AI models. I tried to break the obvious answer and mostly couldn't, which is itself the finding. By the standard of competitive strongman, Mitchell Cooper of Canada is the world's strongest man in the world. He won the 2026 World's Strongest Man title. Strongest can mean different things in weightlifting or powerlifting, but Hooper is the direct answer when referring to the sport and title called World's Strongest Man. Okay, fair enough. This is kind of cool. Round 2 review. This is new. Everyone caught up. This is kind of cool. So there's little noises that are happening as well, which are nice. But apparently there are 50 changes. What's cool is you can isolate each individual person, back to team. This can expand fully, scrolls down to the bottom, back to team. I can get out. Up here, nothing happens. Checks 3 of 3, gate pending. No direction yet. I notice when I'm inside of the GitHub thing, but I click out, nothing happens. Let's specifically look at what it is that Fable has changed, because I'm a bit lost. I've seen a few changes, nothing crazy though. Did not watch you for a while. What up, Prezamec? How we doing, gang? Hope you're doing well. So Fable has specifically mentioned that they have signature delight moments, ship the blob synthesis merge. The chat empty state shows a Claude blob and a Codex blob that never merge. Okay, let's look at the chat empty state. If I go start from scratch, yo, what does a chat empty state look like? And then I've got another one. No messages yet. Message the team below to get started. I don't see an empty state. I don't see this chat empty state. Maybe I got a full screen. No, nothing. Never merge. The brand metaphor design sits. Noticing the chat empty state looks the same. I don't see this blob synthesis merge thing that you were talking about regarding A1. Vibecoder with Mayher, how we doing, brother? Can you make it so you can attach images and stuff to send extra context? Oh, that's a good idea. That's a very good point, actually. Yep, I'm doing that right now. Currently, users are very limited inside of Ace, as inside of the chat, we are unable to send images and upload additional files. So can we make it so that users can now upload files and images and additional kind of contextual pieces? The other thing as well, Bimbe, I guess I kind of forgot, but like we do have a context block where you can upload a document, you can upload a voice note, you can upload a URL, and this kind of gives the agents context as part of the brain. So for example, even this live stream right now, I could literally just share it as a link inside of Ace. All I got to do is pick the context block, URL, paste my URL, and then YouTube literally, Ace literally transcribes the YouTube video, and then I can use it as context. It's worth noting, because this is a live stream, YouTube doesn't release the transcripts for like 48 hours. So this specific thing wouldn't work, but any YouTube video works, just not a live stream. I don't know, but it is hard to attach it to everything, especially with 10 agents in my workflow. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. No, that's a good point. You're right. Currently, users are very limited inside of Ace. Inside of the chat, we are unable to send messages and upload additional files. Can we make it so that users can now upload files and images and additional context pieces through the chat? Okay, and then we'll send that. Another thing that I also want to add is this feature right here, system prompt generation. So you'll notice Bimbe, everyone who's watching right now, Bimbe is one of the first people to buy and start using Ace. So I'm speaking to Bimbe directly here. You'll notice when you go inside of Ace, the system prompt is pretty bland, and there's no way to generate a new one, because who wants to handwrite their own system prompt? So I think what we can do is we can create a generation button here. Based on the text inside of the system prompt, can we create a generation button where users can click the generate button and it actually fully creates like a proper system prompt? I do remember there was a skill for this. So let me see if I can find a system prompt skill. Prompt architect. There was a system prompt skill I remember seeing that was very popular. Prompt skill, Claude. System prompt writer, Claude code skill. Is it this one? Let me check if it is. I don't think it is. Strand skill system, not really. I can just ask it to make its own. Create a proper system prompt. We'll need to create some sort of system prompt skill that is able to follow a certain set of rules to create this lengthened prompt for the AI to be able to understand. And we need to be able to transform, one or two sentences into this full-on length system prompt. We need to make sure that we are not making the system prompt super rigid and strict, but more just providing context to the agent in a way that is useful to the user, expanding on what it is that they are already saying. So for example, then what it is, what they are already saying, for example. You are review agent turns into a much thorough review agent system prompt, guiding the agent on how to better review. All right, peace out, Bimbe. The James Shill Ace is $15 a month, $99 a year. Use code Doobie for 10% off. Conductor is completely free. It only works inside of Mac, and yeah. Both connect to your subscription. Okay, another thing. So we're fixing a few things right now. Claude design compatibility. We're creating this one. Build ACE from inside. Run long loops. We'll do that in a second. Let me just check my Codex usage real quick. Still saying weekly 100%, which doesn't make any sense. Unless that actually is how much usage I have left. But, yeah, okay. I wonder how long they're going to let us have this no 5-hour limit window thing. All right, so we had Fable still going. So I think sub-agents are working right now. Plan ready. It's been going for quite a while though. So I'm just going to prompt it. Please merge, already merged into dev. We can get rid of that. Taste skill, nothing in the chat, empty. So can you please just make another review, making sure in reviewing that, you know, you've made all of these small changes and they've actually worked. Because I feel like I might not have noticed a lot of them. What do you use for voice transcription? I just use Whisperflow. It's $15 a month, unlimited usage. Message the team, type @ to tag an agent. Fix build a team flow. D1 GStack telemetry preference has paused at its one-time privacy gate. You can share usage. What the hell? No thanks, benefits B. The hell? Why is GStack getting involved here? Weird. That was so weird. The conflict revealed an important architectural. Why is conductor being weird right now? It's not sending me like a full final prompt. Merge to dev, get rid of this. Compare open code, we'll check that in a second. Forward deployed engineer, is it any good for a career? What do you mean? That sounds reasonably priced and it mainly focuses on reading app. Is there anything else that does outside making and designing apps? Just curious. Yeah, you could totally build like literally anything regarding AI you can build. So for me, I use AI to write scripts. So kind of like what I shared is you can literally, I'll show you a live use case right now. You literally go inside of YouTube, search up how to write scripts, YouTube. I like using this guy, he's really good. So you can literally now copy this guy's video, paste it inside of ACE, and now you have this context on how to write good scripts. Connect it to one of the best script writers, which is Opus right now. Fable's obviously a little better, but Claude is really good at writing scripts. And now you have this script writer. What you can do is you can have this write scripts. So inside here, you can say you are the script writer. And then you could have another agent. For example, Grok has access to Twitter. So chuck in Grok, and I'm going to connect these two together, and they can debate. Or actually, I prefer they hand off. And then Grok, using Twitter, please find relevant information on this. Using Twitter, please find relevant information on this. And now you have kind of this workflow here where Grok is research. I should probably mention that. You are the research agent. And then I'll just be like, write a YouTube script about how Claude needs Fable inside of their subscriptions, otherwise they're going to go underboard. It's actually a good test right now because I recently changed the how agents are able to interact inside of this text box. So this will be interesting to see. If a really long text actually gets sent inside of here. So this is a good test. What up, what up? Just a tip, but the ultra mode is worse than extra high, higher hallucination rates plus wasted tokens. Thanks for the tip, Drew. Appreciate it, bro. Should secrets be global? 1 volt shared by every project board or scoped global? How hardened should storage be in V1? Today, Ace stores provider API keys as a plain text JSON file readable only by your user account. Option A reuses that exact pattern for user secrets. Fast, consistent, same guarantee. Option B adds real encryption. I think we should just use this one. Anonymous telemetry of... Dude, what is going on? Let me just redo this. I'm going to open up a new chat. And then I'm going to grab this image. Actually, not this one. Let's just take a screenshot of this one. It's giving me some weird BS, dude. Conductor, what's going on, bro? Stop being weird with me. It's asking me questions about G-Stack. Like, bro, I didn't even mention G-Stack. Did I? Yeah, I didn't. All right, secrets.env, both decisions locked in. I'll write the final plan and present it for approval. Cool. Hi, did you make all of that money without knowing how to code? Yes, I do not know how to code. I have zero coding experience. All I do is I use AI. I'm pretty stupid when it comes to code. If anyone in the chat ask me a question that's vaguely difficult about coding, I have no idea. Tell me what the promo code is to use. I want to support you and buy the subscription. Oh, James, appreciate you, brother. The promo code, I'll type it in the chat. Gives you 10% off. I wrote the full 9-minute script title. If Fable isn't in your Claude subscription, Anthropic is cooked. 3 points you pay for the box, the churn math, and the cap it, but never lock it. Run stopped before Ace could produce a final response. Agent build failed, tool error, requirement unsatisfied. Is Grok not working? Couldn't reach Poppy. So we need to look into why Grok cannot be reached. So it's saying Grok is connected here. Let's have a look. Let me just go ahead and full screen this. Grok could not be reached. Please look into why. Ended up breaking the whole workflow. If we go in here. Also, you'll notice the Grok logo in the chat is different to the logo. Also, the Grok logo in the chat should be the same as the Grok logo on the board. Why is this coming up? This is a one-time privacy choice for the debugging skill. It never includes. Do not use GStack for this. Please continue. I'll continue directly with repository inspection. Yeah, like why do you need GStack, bro? Like, don't force GStack on me, man. I used to like GStack, but I think it's just a bit too much. So if I have an app idea, I should just get to prompting, knowing that I'd be using free models. Yeah, dude, 100%. Dude, stop watching all these tutorial videos. Stop watching everyone just like do all this stuff. Like the fastest way to learn is to literally just get into the weeds and start building, you know? I'm not gonna lie to you, this stuff is really freaking hard. It's so hard. It's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. But it's extremely rewarding, and you know, through every failure, you get better and better, and eventually you might get to a stage where you never thought you would be. But all your ideas will basically shared with anyone. That's true, but you know, the idea is only as good as the person executing. And so, you know, even though I vibe code it, even though I live stream everything, the entire process, I'm not scared that someone in the chat's going to steal my idea and make a better response, because I'm just confident that I'll have better execution. Because, you know, while I'm vibe coding right now, I have distribution handled. Like, I'm live streaming my vibe coding session. I'm also posting a short form video every day. I'm also posting 1 to 2 long form videos every day. Like, I'm literally capped out on how much content and front facing distribution I can produce right now with founder led marketing. And so I'm just like, yo, if you can keep up with me and make my own idea, then go for it. But I doubt it. And so that's why I'm okay with sharing my ideas, because I feel like it all comes down to execution. And I feel like I back myself with that. The screenshot shows the immediate cause. Enable continuous 2, keep exclusive checkpoints, recommendation A. Enable continuous checkpoint commits, reply with A or B. Enable continuous checkpoints. Logical units are saved as temporary commits, making long debugging sessions easier to recover. This adds to temporary commits that later need squashing. Keep explicit completeness 710. Git history stays quieter, but unfinished investigation context is easier to lose. A. But also look into why Grok failed, because in settings it's saying Grok is connected. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different Codex instances running right now. Not to be that guy, but is there any proof on that generated revenue? Yes, there is. If you look at every single live stream that I've ever posted, you will see the proof. Just click any live stream from the early days. You'll literally be able to see it. Also, without actually having experience in software engineering, aren't you concerned shipping a SaaS tool B2C, like security-wise? At the end of the day, Samir, like, I feel like you're going to live your life with more regrets than if you just live it in fear. You have to go out there, you have to make the mistakes, you have to try, and you're not going to learn until you do something, right? So I'm shipping willy-nilly. Nothing's been wrong. We're 80 days in. I haven't found a single problem. I'm fully front facing. We've had hundreds of thousands of people view my live streams by now. No one's come in, or nothing's been broken. Fingers crossed, nothing happens in the future. But like, if something happens, I'm gonna learn from it and we will iterate. But like, you can't just live your life in fear and just be like, oh, because I'm not an expert in software engineering, I can't produce front-facing apps to consumers, and et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, you can connect tools like Stripe. Stripe handles all of the user data when it comes to payments. If something happens and user data gets leaked, that's a Stripe problem. Same with databases, You can have all your database inside of, I forgot what it's called. What's the one that everyone uses? You can literally have everything inside of there, and if that gets broken into, that's a them problem, because all you're doing is connecting the different tools that have their own security inside. Does that make sense? That's not enough agents. You need 50 plus going at a time. Dude, for real. What's going on here? Stop using GStack. Dude, stop using GStack and just analyze the problem. Why is GStack being used? Can I turn this off? Supabase, that's the one. Yeah, Supabase. If you have your database inside a Supabase and you connect Supabase to your app, and Supabase and people, your database gets leaked, that's a Supabase problem. The only way that your database could get leaked outside of Supabase is if your API is like in the front end, or if you've leaked your API somehow. Yeah, API keys is the only thing that you need to worry about. But if you handle API keys, then you're fine, right? So all you're telling me is that I can create consumer-facing apps as a B2C, and all I need to do is work on making sure that my API keys don't get leaked. That's easy as shit. That's like the easiest thing in the world. All you got to do is just literally, you can prompt your AI a couple of times and you can fix that problem. So what are you scared about? What's the problem? You just answered your own question. Make no mistakes. Yeah, legit. What is your marketing strategy? My entire marketing strategy is founder-led. So everything that I do with my YouTube channel, with my Instagram channel, with my Twitter, everything that I post, all kind of funnels back to Ace. And inside of my little network, I'm able to understand, like, okay, you guys react positively to this thing. You guys react negatively to this thing. And that helps me understand over time, okay, what are you guys reacting crazy to? And if I do something or make something and you guys are going crazy about it, that'll help me understand when I want to shift to a more paid marketing strategy or a more organic with its own business account. Those kind of emotional targets are what I need to aim for, if that makes sense. How do I turn off GStack? How do I turn off GStack? It's getting annoying as shit. GStack, turn off GStack, turn off GStack, turn off GStack. Max syntax. Okay, fair. I'm struggling to get my product out there right now. I mean, what's your product, Max? Let me review it. I'll review it right now. It's getting hot as shit. What's the name of your app? If you want to share. You're like BridgeMind, same strat. It's a good strategy. Dude, where is Supabase is ticking time bomb? You reckon? Why is that? Supabase literally holds your hand the whole way and tells you that you have security risks, etc. if it's RLS risks. So if you make a mistake, yeah, but that's only regarding API key leakage, right? Basically, it helps YouTubers optimize their videos before they post. The end goal is to boost retention. Would you have like case studies? Are you a YouTuber yourself? Does it work for you? The best way for you to market would literally be to make a banging YouTube video that just goes crazy, maybe gets like 1 million views, and then in that you have a mid-roll ad that literally says, I made this video, or like I'm on 100,000 subscribers, I got here in less than a year, you can use my strategy, blah blah blah. Like, Max, your app is only going to be as good as you. So if you are not getting the views that you're claiming that your app is getting, then you are not going to get that many sales. Like, either you or a friend needs to be using the app and it's changing their lives. It's getting you guys a bunch of views or a bunch of retention. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I use mid-roll ads in my videos. So in this last video, 27K views. This generated a few subscriptions for my app. And you can see right here, not me eating a chocolate. Right here, you can see I'm literally plugging Ace inside of my video at around 11 minutes. So it doesn't hurt the retention of my video, because you can see it's all the way at 11-minute mark. It's not here in the 3-minute mark when people are kind of hesitant to continue watching your video. It's all the way at the 11-minute mark. So I'm reducing the risk of putting it there, and then literally get a banger. Like, for example, for me, if I was selling your app, I have this one banger video. It's got 731,000 views. I would literally be like, yo, I was able to get this video because of this app. Or you could literally go onto like your YouTube analytics, go into analytics, pull up the live count and go to like 365 days and be like, yo, on December 2020, basically start of this year, I was on 1,000 subscribers. Now I'm on 35,000 subscribers. If you want to get 30,000 subscribers in less than 6 months, then you should check out this tool. Like, see how that's a really strong selling point? Remember when I made you bold? Bro, I actually do remember that. That was funny as. Oh shoot, I didn't realize you could do that. I might need to snag this strategy. Bro, 100%. Bro, you should do that. Trust, man. Trust. If you show success in your own channel, it's going to naturally go into every single else. So you just got to lock in for your own channel, because YouTube's really freaking hard. So if you're able to crack the code with YouTube, then you should be able to crack, you should get sales for your app. Proof of concept, yeah, exactly. Do you have, like, for example, one of the main ways that I plan to market Ace, and this is a bit more of a long-term play, is once I'm happy with the level that Ace is at, I'm going to stop focusing on, constantly pushing all these new features and updates. We're very new, we're still in beta, so that's kind of why I'm doing this. But eventually, I'm going to start using Ace to build apps, and then I'm going to try and monetize those apps, and then I can say Ace as the proof of concept. Like, look, I built the app using Ace. You should be able to crack anything if you crack YouTube. Legit though. Do you have a Higgs field plus copyright plus meta kind of knowledge so it knows what goes viral marketing strategy? Do you have a Higgs field? What do you mean? I think the fact you're always showing what you're doing, it helps a lot, because it shows you believe in what you're building, and it shows you're being authentic too, which is huge in my opinion. Yeah, that's a good point. Live streaming my app and building it live has generated the most amount of users for me, like, bar none, okay? And I think it's only going to increase the less I stop using Conductor and the more I start using Ace. Okay, so we got all this here. What's my Fable usage on? If my Fable usage is high enough. Resets in 13 hours anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and just approve. I'll get Fable to build this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different AI agents running at the same time right now. Can you crank out some Grok 4.5 hardcore vibe flow right now? You want Grok 4.5? I haven't actually shared this with anyone, but I did test Grok 4.5 with Fable, and I did find some pretty interesting findings. I can show you real quick. But inside of Ace Bench, we basically ran this one test. I copied it from BridgeMind, the lava lamp test. And Fable obviously killed it. Now, I got Grok to do this exact same thing. And I'm not going to lie, first iteration was quite disappointing. But you need to consider that it only took 4 minutes. The lava lamp test took Fable close to like 20 minutes, I remember. But look how clean it is, right? And so what's interesting that I found is if Fable takes like, 30 minutes to build something, which these days is kind of accurate, it'll do a good job. But what's interesting about Grok, because it's cheaper, right, is this was the first output, which is obviously not that good. But if you iterate it a few more times, you can get it to a level where it's actually close. Like this feels pretty close to this. Like I would almost say that Grok's like flow of the lava looks better than Fable's. I would say the exterior outline maybe looks a little bit better in Fable, but Grok's looks very close. Like I would say some people would think Grok's is better, some people would think Fable's is better. And so this shows that you can orchestrate Grok and get it to a level where it's competing with Fable. And all it took was 1, 2, 3, 4 iterations, 5 iterations. All it took was 5 iterations. So that would still be cheaper than running one Fable prompt. So it's worth considering, using Grok as an orchestrator, not as the orchestrator, but as the person doing the task, and having someone like Fable orchestrating Grok. But yeah, that's about, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but it's worth considering. Fix Grok workflow failure. How do we turn off Gstack? Did we figure that out? Settings. Is it in here? Git, scripts, actions. Gstack is not being used anywhere here. Okay. Strip, you're absolutely right, from AI messages. That's kind of funny. Always show context usage. I kind of like that. Caffeinate while agents are running. Prevent your Mac from sleeping while an agent is actively working. Shuts off below 10%. Restart automatically on update. Show MCP status in chat. Don't collapse tool calls. Show all tool calls expand by default instead of collapse. Toggle with O. Yeah, how do I... How do I turn Gstack off inside of Conductor? Like, I actually don't know how to do this. I'm building something myself right now, but I've used Cursor for so long, never really strayed from it, but recently moved to Claude. I'm really intrigued at seeing other LLMs and how good they are. Dude, you should check out GPT. It's really good. GPT value for money is very high. Regarding Higgsfield, I'm still trying to find a workflow that works. Specifically for the Higgsfield and AI. Yo, what the hell? What the hell just shut? Ace just closed. Yeah, I'm yet to find a workflow that actually works, to be honest. with the AI UGC. If someone does have one, I'd love to hear it. It's definitely possible. It's just a bit tricky. But that's the thing, right? Anything of value is always going to be hard. So, you know, these AI companies, obviously they're going to market it and say, yo, it's super easy. All you got to do is this, this, and this, but it's a lot harder than that. And what I would recommend you do is you need a little bit of tuition money. And what that means is you're going to make a lot of mistakes initially and spend a lot of money. So you need to be prepared for that and generate images and videos with Higgsfield for AI UGC. And they're going to suck, but then keep iterating and iterating. And then once you get to a level that you're happy with, find out what that prompt needs to be to get to that final output by just prompting Claude and being like, hey, this is the output that I like. How do we get to this level without running through all the hiccups prior? And then you get to that level. How does ACE work? Do you just link your LLM accounts to it? Then you have the option to use them all, etc. Exactly. Yeah, it just works from your subscription. Yo, why is the settings icon like that? Let me fix that. It works based off of your subscriptions. So inside of the settings, when you set up for the first time, it automatically tries to find all your subscriptions, and it'll find, you know, you can connect Claude, Codex, Gemini, Grok, or if you want, you can just add your OpenRouter API. So for example, you might want to add your Claude subscription, but you don't have like a Codex subscription or anything like that. So you just add an API for those. And then you only use those ones sparingly, but you mainly use Claude. Like there's plenty of different ways to utilize your subscriptions inside of ACE. Run this in the workspace terminal. All right. This was. I got this weird little. Oh, it's fixed now. If I go inside, but it's in the corner. I'm noticing the home page. For some reason, the setting gets pushed to the side. Okay. Let me see what it's saying. Let me look at your screenshot, then run a whole new board component family branching off latest dev and releasing the new services to the plan ports. I see there's a new chat component directly with several files to review. My workspace is on an older commit while dev has moved ahead, so I need to branch off the current dev to handle the fix work. Let me start by examining the new chat sidebar and composer components to understand what needs to be ported over. New composer now, it's solid with routing, hints, mention, autocomplete. I just start like a small one. We can try, let's try GPT 5.6 Terra, maybe. I'll say, when I'm inside of the home page, I notice the settings icon is not centered and it's toggled to the side. Can we fix this? I see that's fire. Sounds really cool. Maybe I'll check it out sometime then. I spent like 300 on Higgsfield, lol. Bro, did you learn anything, Sahib? I hope you learned something. Yo, also like up the stream if you haven't already, man. We at like barely any likes for how many people we got watching. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got over here. I want to review. We got a few things that I need. Fix Grok. All right, please make the necessary fixes. Oh, wait. Grok CLI 02.99 is available locally. Let me check. Does Grok need an update? Slash up slash. This is the Grok CLI, by the way. It's pretty cool. Expand, context, minimal, model, effort, auto, multi, compact, hooks, plugins, marketplace, skills. Update, login, import Claude, usage, queue. Yeah. Goal, personas, config, release notes. Check for Grok CLI updates. What is your default model for Conductor? I use GPT 5.6 Sol for my default because it's cheaper. And then I use Claude Fable 5 as the default review agent. So what's really handy is up here on the top right hand side, you'll see that there's this review. Where was it? There's this review button here. When you click that, the agent reviews. All right, well, can we make all the relevant fixes and then merge to dev? We're stranded on dead code. I reordered all 50 items against current dev ported that was lost, and it merged as PR with the runtime. Present and working on dev. Deliberately not ported because the redesign has better equivalence. The rotating placeholder. Okay, cool. Yeah, oh, Grok update, yes. Okay, so we're inside of dev. There should be a new update that pops up soon. In an empty state. Let me just go new, start from scratch. Even here, you can see the X is not centered. Inside of the name new project, when I start from scratch, but it's also inside a name new project. Inside of the name new project window, the X is also not centered. Can you just make sure that we're not running into any of these issues? This is a very basic fix. This is the second find now. I want to make sure everything's centered everywhere. Can you give me a demo on Conductor as you're using it? The best way that you found as far as planning mode and shifting prompts to other agents and whatnot? Yeah, sure. So what I found is you have your main project here, multi-agent, and you can press this to create a new workspace. By doing this, you can connect different agents, but by default, it'll just show you whichever agent you have defaulted. You can create fast mode, you can change this. I like to do plan mode when I'm creating a new feature that is actually quite a big change, but I wouldn't recommend using plan mode every single time. Use this only when there's like a big feature change. And then you can obviously attach things. I think screenshots help, being able to, screenshot the environment and being able to paste it is very helpful as well. When you're inside of here, the main thing that I do is one agent will write the code, and then right after the code is written, before you merge, it doesn't hurt to just review. And you can review with Fable, but it doesn't hurt to just review with like Opus 4.8. And I guarantee you Opus will find some issues. There's always like something wrong. And this can save you a lot of headache later because you're trying to wonder why is something breaking when I've just added something. I've noticed this pipeline is bulletproof. If I generate a piece of code, look how many lines of code have been written here, right? 902 lines of code have been written. If I get an agent to review that code, you can literally use the same model as well. However, I have found that there are biases when you use the same model. If you use something if you're using Fable to code, the rule of thumb, if you're using Fable to code, use Codex to review. If you're using Codex to code, use Claude to review. So yeah, that's kind of my pipeline. Hope that helps. I have found that because these models are getting a lot better, I'm finding myself having to review less code, and I'm a bit more confident in just merging things, especially when they're small, like me centering the cross, like me trying to fix this little issue here. I'm not gonna get code reviewed for it because it's so small. Light Uncle, welcome back to the stream, bro. Did we get the update? The session picks up the new binary after you exit and run again. You'll need... Grok CLI has just been updated. Can you verify? Whenever an agent returns no response, Poppy failed before product. The logo mismatch is separate and straightforward. Recommend fix, correct or version gate Grok's tool configuration without permanently removing terminal access. Add an execution. Yo, also check this out. I just bought a new screen. I just bought a Mac Studio, baby. Let's go. So pumped about this purchase. If you've never used a Mac Studio before, it is like the best display ever. It's really pricey, I'm not gonna lie, but once you get it, you don't go back, and they do retain their original prices pretty well. So if you're using your Mac Studio for a few years, you can literally just sell it for near market value because they don't update these often. They last a very long time. So yeah, Conductor should be on Windows. I hope one day they do, but they kind of just have the cloud thing right now. Been watching you for a long time. Appreciate you, Light Uncle. That thing ain't never going to get turned off. What thing? Are you talking about G-Stack or are you talking about... Talking about my new monitor. Alright, so we got Grok CLI updated. I feel like we're a bit all over the place. Let me look at this compare open code. So what I did, just for reference yesterday, is I got GPT 5.6 to review open code because it is a very good harness by a lot of people's standards. A lot of people rate open code very highly, and it's completely open sourced. So I got Codex to review it and compare it to ACE. So let's read this together. Open code versus ACE audit and improvement roadmap. Summary. Produce an evidence-backed report comparing ACE with open code, including its shipping harness and clearly separated unfinished V2 architecture. The output will focus on what ACE should adopt, preserve, simplify, hide, or avoid copying. Damn, it's 1500. That Mac Studio, yeah, that's true. It doesn't turn off because it's constantly on. Yeah, nah, highly recommend. Check it out. Damn, it's $1,500. Crazy purchase. It is a very crazy purchase. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it just lasts a long time. I feel like I've been needing a second monitor for a long time now. And you know what's actually really crazy, and I bet you guys didn't know this, is you can actually connect a Mac Mini to your Mac Studio. So now what I've got is I have one Mac Mini connected to one Mac Studio, and then I've got my MacBook Pro connected to my other Mac Studio. And what you can actually do is you can connect both of these screens together so it feels like one device, even though I'm using two different GPUs. Pretty crazy. I didn't know you could do that. The more you know. But yeah, I just realized I wasn't sharing screen. I prefer big displays when I'm at home, but I like a laptop display when I'm traveling, of course. So yeah, open code versus ACE audit and improvement roadmap. This is kind of what I was talking about. I forgot to share screen, but yeah, this is open code. It's an open source harness for your agents. And it's got 185,000 GitHub stars. It's rated very highly amongst a lot of people. And so what I'm kind of looking to do is I've gotten GPT 5.6 Sol Ultra Code to review open code versus ACE. So let's look at this together. Comparative analysis. Build a capability matrix covering agent loops, context, and blah, blah, blah. We can get rid of that. Recommendations and proposed interfaces. The report will rank recommendations by user impact, safety, implementation effort, and dependencies and migration risk. PO, safety, and trust. Add an ACE-owned capability and permission broker across Claude, Codex, Gemini, native actions, network access, and future MCP tools. Made external actions durably wait for explicit approval. Hide unsupported skills, memory, custom / llama, and human gate controls until enforced. Is that the Mac Studio with the M5 chip? It's the latest Mac Studio. I don't know if the Mac Studio has... no, sorry. This is the Mac Mini that I'm using. I bought this like during the OpenClaw craze when everyone was buying a Mac Mini. I'm such a NPC for that, but yeah, I bought a Mac Mini. It's literally the base model, nothing crazy. I'm waiting for the new MacBook Ultra to come out. So apparently they're going to be releasing a MacBook Ultra, not a MacBook Pro, an Ultra, and so that's hopefully rumored for earlier this year. If that comes out, I'm going to buy it in a heartbeat. I really need to upgrade with all the live streaming and coding that I'm doing and editing videos. My workflow is now very heavy on the GPU and CPU. So yeah, I think my Mac needs an upgrade. PO inspectable execution. Define one canonical structured run transcript for agent returns. P1 context and session correctness. Add token aware context assembly. Discovery, provenance, rolling, compaction, and overflow recovery. Give every board agent a separate resumable session with parent-child lineage and deliberate context sharing controls. P1 code feedback loop. Add mutation preview snapshots per turn diffs. Treat MCP as a complete product surface, including tools, prompts, resources, OAuth, health, and permissions. Validation. Dog food, AceDev, and open code using a disposable repository and record the exact runtime versions. Exercise read-only planning. Avoid global open code installation pushes. Assumptions. Executive verdict. Preserve ACE's visual boards, mission contracts, work tree isolation, model comparison, verification bundles, and runtime delivery. Contain provider authority, make controls truthful, and a canonical run journal, and durably gate external actions. Introduce per agent sessions, explicit handoffs. Successfully edited and tested the all pin source paths. Based off of your findings, create a roadmap for the lowest effort, highest impact fixes we can make right now that will not dramatically break or change ACE, but improve it based off of your findings with open code. I did the same thing, but still used the Mac Mini and had a video go viral and got clowned for it. Such an NPC. That's so funny. The James Shill. Cracking me up, bro. I feel you, man. I feel the pain. Getting called NPC in the comments. Based off your findings, create a roadmap for the highest, I'll say highest ROI. I'll just say highest ROI fixes we can make right now that will not dramatically break or change ACE, but improve it based off your findings with open code. Looking to maintain similar UX. I don't know why I did a question mark there, but that's fine. 54 minutes on this, man. Jesus Christ. I got to start doing extra high. I think max is taking too long. Am I on fast mode as well? I'm literally on fast mode on max, and this is taking close to an hour. Jesus Christ. Trailblazer, how we doing, man? Long time no see. That's sweet. Have you looked into tying them all together, i.e. cluster, and then run RDMA using Thunderbolt 5 to merge it all together, and then you have an insane local LLM to use for grunt work? Whoa, Jonathan, bro. That sounds like a crazy build. I might have to try that. What do you do with the lives once you are done? Do you use them to make shorts or edit them up and post as videos? Not really. I kind of treat everything separately. So I have like a shorts editor. I have long form editor, which I do myself. And I also have, live streams, which I do myself. I kind of treat them all as their own thing, mainly because I feel like they all have their own strategy. Short forms, you need to be really quick and snappy with the hook. You need to provide a lot of value up front. Long forms, because you're kind of competing with short form attention spans nowadays, you need to consider how much value you're producing per minute. So long forms is a completely different strategy. But then with live streams, it's a bit more relaxed. I get to interact with you guys. I get to build my own things. It's a bit more like my own space, and I get to hang out with you guys. It feels like a different thing entirely. So I don't really cut up the live streams and create clips or anything like that. I used to, and they didn't really perform that well. And I completely understand why. Like, it's a different thing entirely. I think I'm considering creating like a clips channel where all I do is I post long form clips and then I'm getting additional views. And if it does well, it does well. But right now, yeah, it's just, they're all separate. What time do you wake up? I usually wake up around 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. I'll just go on my phone for a little bit and then I'll have a shower and I'll start the live stream. Have you tried Fable to see if it can figure it out? I honestly use both services depending on the task I'm doing. I mean, I use Fable and Codex, both. So yeah, usually I'll just mix and match depending on what I'm feeling like. But whichever model I use, I'll usually have the opposite review the code. So if I use Fable to write code, I use Codex to review the code. If I use Codex to write code, I'll use Fable to review the code. Hey Doobie, do you have any advice on legal part of SaaS? Is it that deep to hire a lawyer or simply review it with common sense? Look, I'm not gonna give, like, at the end of the day, I'm not a lawyer, but here's my suggestion. Don't worry too much about the legalities of your SaaS, especially if you don't have any users. If your SaaS actually starts bringing in traction and generating users, then it makes sense for you to do these additional things like hire a lawyer and review, make sure you're not doing anything wrong. Make sure you have a legals page and letting people know the terms and conditions. Like, all of that stuff obviously matters, but I think in the short term, don't stress over it. Because, if no one's using your app, then there's nothing to worry about. It's only when people start using your app, if you have, 100, 200, 1,000 members, are you paying your taxes? Are you doing this? Is it run by a sole trader? Is it run by a company? Do you need to create all of that stuff? Don't worry too much until you find traction, because all of that BS is just going to stop you from working on your app. And it's going to deter you from wanting to, trying to gain the users that you need. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think it's just, you can definitely worry about it later. If your app doesn't get any users, then you've just spent all this time trying to get all the legals sorted and everything, just for everything to flop and not work, and you're moving on to the next thing. Yeah, for sure. I see why. As a guy that hates wasting time, just try to get the biggest bang for the buck, Nah, I feel you. I definitely think, yeah, it's worth exploring to get these clips going. Where do you store the rules files inside of Conductor? For example, always verify every UI button is centered, etc. So you don't have that issue that you have with the... That is a good question. It's inside of... It is here somewhere. I forgot where, but they have an agents.md. I think advanced. There is a rule, like there is a system prompt that you can edit. And I'm not entirely sure where it is. But you can always just prompt your model and just be like, hey, can you change the system prompt inside of Conductor to make sure that it does this, for example. It's definitely here somewhere. I think it might be here. Like agents.md repository agent guide. It tells it like how to handle my repositories. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll send you some low-priced options when we IPO, LMAO. All right, bet. I can't wait, bro. I'm keen. Can I get any meaningful work done building apps, etc. with Qwen 2.5 Coda 7b? That sounds like a question for Vince. He's really knowledgeable when it comes to local models. But also, if Jonathan Chandler is in the chat, he seemed like he knew something as well. Kill Switch, what up, bro? You're late, bro. Where you been? Quen, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gone too hard on local models, so I couldn't really tell. But I know Vince uses local models, and he's very talented, and he's able to get a lot of stuff done. I think what he does is he has a more intelligent model like Opus 4.8 orchestrate these cheaper models like Quen. Did you try other harnesses besides Conductor? I don't like it's not open source. Like early on in the live stream series, we did try a bunch of different stuff. Conductor is just what I lent towards, and a lot of people will agree. Like once you start using Conductor properly, you kind of don't go back. It's just really good. Don't worry, I'm in e-commerce and I code as well, and that is a very big thing, what you had mentioned. Exactly. Can you open the Duocode folder in if you're okay? I'm not sure how much of, because it's a private repo. Are you guys not able to see any of the files inside of Duocode? Just curious because it is a private repo, but this is what it looks like. Inside of Duocode, it looks like this. We've got like Wrangler, results wave, experiments.md, billing, Electron native, public scripts, SRC, Superbase, Claude build. Like, does this look a little messy to you guys? I don't know. I'm not a developer, you know. Yes, we did waste a reset. If you look at the very first like 30 seconds of the live stream, you can watch me reset. It's super satisfying, bro. I highly recommend it. Yo, Neutronic, what up, bro? Welcome back to the stream. That's a lot of stuff. Do you think I could clean it up maybe? It's a bit messy, hey. Add editable system back. Based on the text inside the system prompt, can we create a generation button? Implemented generation button beside the system prompt field, expand short directions into contextual verification. Change is not yet installed in ACE. Once a user clicks the generation button, it should change from generate system prompt or whatever to regenerate system prompt. Just that tiny little tweak, I think, makes a big difference. Dude, context already out on a single prompt is madness, by the way. You were right, the blob okay, I think this is merged. We're now inside of Ace Dev. Let's have a look to see if this works again. we have, I'm pretty sure, fixed Poppy. So this should work. So if I just take a full screenshot of this whole thing. One thing that I've noticed is the labels for interaction are a little bit confusing because we've got handoff, we've got context, we've got debate, review, orchestrate, and custom. And one thing that I'm struggling with, you can kind of see in this screenshot, is like, I'm assuming handoff is collaborate. You know, it's how these two collaborate with each other. Because debate is like challenge and converge. It doesn't feel the same as collaborating as a team. For example, I've created a system prompt for Grok to research and Fable 5 to write the script. They're collaborating. I've clicked handoff, but it doesn't feel like the right interaction. So can you help me out and understand and review and potentially iterate? And also there's a lot of different options here. Do we need all of them? Do we even need all of them, or can we merge some together? Slash features do not work inside of Ace yet. No. Would you ever consider a segment in your stream where you review your viewers' projects? Of course I would. Yeah, dude. If someone in the stream, in the chat was like, hey bro, I got this new project. Do you want to check it out? 9 times out of 10, if I'm not super busy, I'll do it. I've been on camping, missed a week. What is the current situation of Ace? Ace is at a level that I'm very happy with. We have a group chat functionality now, so you can message agents individually. Yeah, we've added Grok. We've also added skills. So if you scroll down a little bit, you can see we've got different skills now, and you can kind of see them floating around here. Speaking of Poppy, do you know what Poppy AI is? Yes, I do. I have a sponsored video coming out with them soon. You could steal so much of what they're doing on the content engine side of things, as that ends their own focus, because it's basically Ace, but for content, only doing 10 million ARR reported. I have heard about, yeah, I mean, Poppy I've definitely used. I have like a creator subscription to Poppy, which is really neat. You can kind of see here. So there's definitely some cool stuff with Poppy that I like. They have like a similar system. However, it's specifically for content creation, and it works a little differently to how Ace works. But yeah, this is Poppy. Pretty cool concept. Drag and drop, similar to Ace. But yeah, they're very limited in terms of the models that you can use, and their focus is mainly the content creation side. Good job on the UI. What were you using? I used Claude Design. Claude Design is a game changer when you're building new features and stuff. Delivery status unavailable after reload because we just restarted Ace, so that's why. I have too many different agents doing different things. How far behind is the dev? from main. 51 commits ahead and 1 commit behind. Let's have a look. Let's hand off to GPT. We'll go max. Let's execute on the plan. Review the ACE code base first so you know what you're implementing and where. We recently had an issue with a model implementing on an old code base, so nothing worked. So just, yeah, double check. All right, so I want to check out this new taste skill that we've added. Let me go new project, start from scratch, whatever. I just want to see the empty state. See, look how clean that looks. No messages yet. Message the team below to get started. That looks clean. I like it. What's the cron job look like? Cool. What's this? This was the output block, so we could probably remove this button. Where is the fix builder team stage handoffs? Fix icon. Another thing as well is in the side menu, we still have the output block, but we don't need it anymore since we no longer use output blocks. So can you remove it? So can you remove it? Claude design is this right here. It's basically a feature inside of Claude. If you search up Claude design, you'll see it, but it basically lets Claude design your feature before you use it. It's really handy. It's a good job on the UI. James, because I am sponsored by them and we have a video coming out, I'm not going to comment further. But yeah, kinda. Using API for AI models on a Mac Mini through OpenClass prevent them from seeing what you are doing. Claude Design, guess what? If you really want something cool, I think you should try Herder. Not saying Conductor's bad. Herder? Are you trying to say something else? You mean headless or something? Header or whatever? Herder, what the hell is that? That's what I do, and your orchestrating AI model will tell you what Quinn I can do for any local language model that you use. Damn, that is some sauce right there. In what coding language is ACE built? I'm honestly not gonna lie, I don't even know. We use an Electron. I know as far as my knowledge goes, is we use an Electron. So we're a wrapped Chromium web app. So whatever that entails. Also, did you see that OpenRouter got a new brand? No, I didn't. Whoa, the unified interface for LLMs. Damn. That's pretty cool. I vibe. I wonder if they use OpenRouter powers Replit. That's kind of cool. Ask your AI. All right, bet. It's green now. Pretty crazy. I think Ace is a web app. Yes, it is a web app wrapped up as a Chromium powered by Electron. The change set is tight. This is regarding... Okay, so before we actually merge this, let's review. And I'll just get max. Oh, we've already got ultra code. All right, whatever. I could probably start getting rid of some of this stuff. I think I'm almost done with my Fable. We're at 80%. Disable agent skills. Yes, fix and live in the Ace dev. You guys want to listen to some music? We can listen to some music for a bit. Yo, Vince! Bro, someone was asking about Quen 2.5 or some shit. They needed your help, bro. Let me see if I can find him. Yo, Tiger Claw. Are you still in the chat? Tiger Claw? Yes, fixing live in Ace Dev. What's good, bro? I'm chilling, man. How you doing? What's happening with you? Do not use GStack for this. Please continue. This was regarding the agent team. So now when we build a team, let's just double check. I'm going to call this Pokemon card identifier app. I don't know, just random. Build a Pokemon card identifier app. And so now Ace is going to analyze that. Let's go into a deep work session with music. I was about to leave to lock in. Haha. All right, bet. Let's do it. Yo, Tiger Claw, read Vince's response. He's really good with local models. Take or upload a photo, current value or price. Continue. On my phone, polished. Continue. We'll use 3 teams. 1 off. Continue. I actually want to get rid of Gemini. I feel like no one uses it. Create. All right, let's see if this actually works. All right, now we have this. And we can see the system prompt. Looks a lot cleaner. All right, cool. I'm going to stop the generation. All right, yeah, let's chuck some music on and go into a bit more of a flow state. Hopefully that's not too loud. How have you mastered the ways of using get work trees and everything? I just get AI to handle everything. Conductor also does a lot of the heavy lifting, I'm not gonna lie. How Ace going, Doobie? It's going really well, bro. We've been pumping it with Fable and GPT 5.6. I feel like these models are very heavy lifting. So I'm able to literally throw anything and everything at it. And it's able to do a really good job. Check this out. We just implemented skills. So now inside of your agent system, you can come down here and select some skills and then save the changes. And then look how clean that is. It just hovers around the agent. Like this cool little kind of orbit vibe. I don't know, I thought that was really cool. We've also added Grok because I feel like Grok's pretty good now. So we have Grok inside of Ace now, and this can do some cool stuff. Yeah, we've added small little delight moments. Yeah. Things are going good, bro. Football, Ace is going good, brother. So is Ace locked to only 3 AI models? And if so, why not make it so that anyone can use any AI model with Ace? Wouldn't that make it more powerful? 100% it would. I just kind of wanted to keep it simple and expand slowly. I guess one of the problems is how do we add the different AI models inside of here without it looking messy? Maybe it could be like a little spinner that you drag and toggle. But yeah, that's part of it. The orbiting animation looks sick. Thanks, bro. All right, let's lock in for a bit, gang. Yeah, so we've already integrated local LLMs through Olama, this option right here. So if you have a local LLM, you can use Olama. Yo, like up the stream if you haven't already. We got 37 viewers in the chat. We got 40 viewers in the chat. We only got 34 likes. Like, what's going on, guys? Like up the stream, man. Show some support, show some love. Also, if you want to check out Ace for yourself, there's a link in the description. Use code DOOBY for 10% off. All right, I'll stop shilling my app. I'm locking in. All I did was say, hey. Why is it saying 100% left? Codex app is a little glitchy right now. Doesn't show you your actual usage. Shaking my head, marketers. You should add thinking logs so the user doesn't feel left hanging. I mean, they do kind of respond with their thoughts inside of the group chat. But yeah, maybe we could add more. I just didn't want to clutter the group chat too much. Partly by design, since roughly half the items are quiet floor raisers, press states, focus rings, timing, color, unification that add up rather than announce themselves. Ability to toggle the theme, open settings, pop in, sound. I don't hear anything. That's cool that it pops out. Slight animation. Yeah, I feel you, me. I feel that. The ones we're trying, we've done the toggle theme, open settings, pop in, sounds, toggle shortcuts list, right click, delete a project, let a 30-second plus build finish with the window unfocused, and press Command K. One leftover I flagged but didn't do. The now dead chat view prompt input family could be deleted in a small cleanup PR whenever you want. Alright. Let's do a small cleanup PR. Grok is working now. Build team stages are working now. All right, I'm going to give Ace access. All right. Maybe, yeah, GPT 5.6. I'll wait. Add editable system. What's this one? Merge to dev. Merge to dev. Doc sweep, the dependency triads, SEO, geo, visibility loop, the architecture satisfaction loop, the error message rewrite sweep. Token usage. I'm gonna get rid of these, and let's build Ace bench inside of Ace. I think we're ready. Did it click by accident? I'm assuming a lot of people aren't going to have the problem of having to delete so many of these. It's only because I'm testing. Start from scratch. I'm going to add an existing project, which is my own GitHub repo for Ace Bench. Dev is currently 51 commits ahead. Let me check. It's time for learning. Before we do so, do you remember linked lists and arrays? Yes, linked lists are when you want to reference a list of different, I guess, things Rather than repeating like 100 different items, you can link them however to, oh wait, no, a linked list is when you, there's a sequential order. So like a queue inside of Spotify. Arrays are the variable where you can replace them with a list of items rather than having to say those lists over and over again. I explained that really badly. For the delete, add a multi-select if a user holds a project down. Yeah, I should definitely add that. A long hold on a project should allow for multi-select, so users can delete multiple projects inside of the home screen. You should have folders for your projects. Yes, we do this already. Something else that would be interesting is in the chat if you could add a project into the chat for context. Yeah, I think that is what this agent is working on. It's been working on it for like, it doesn't add a project into the chat, but it adds like a layer extra, which is now you can add images, PDFs, and drag and drop, things inside of it. But it's been taking a long time. We are looking for, damn, look at my green boxes. Getting more and more, which is good. Whole week I was away in Fiji. Ace bench. Hold gestures shouldn't be used on desktop apps. Bad UX should be right-click menus. What about when you need to select multiple at the same time? I feel like it's okay because there's nothing else. There's no other reason you would long press in the homepage, at least for now. So because it's quite simple, I don't see it being a problem. What do you reckon? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dude, my computer's literally lagging because of how many different agents I've got running. I should probably delete some, remove some active usage. We're at 38%. This is going to reset in an hour and 37 minutes. Get rid of that. Codex is annoying the shit out of me right now. It's not telling me my usage. Anyone know how to make this work? Like, I know it's just randomly going to tell me I'm out. I would never think to hold down to select on desktop. That's mobile UX, creates confusing experience for the user. You reckon? So you think it should be a right click like this? Long hold. I think I'm going to do both. No, actually, it doesn't make sense to do both. Rather than making it a long hold, can we do a right click and then it's multi-select is an option on the menu? I wonder if I can... So this is opening up localhost, I believe. Yes. Codex removed 5 hour. I know that Codex removed their 5-hour window, but I've been using 8 different instances of Codex on max mode for like, how long's it been? 2 hours and 30 minutes now. So I feel like surely we've used more than 1%. In fact, I know we have. Some of these prompts are going for like 90 minutes straight. So yeah, just a bit weird that Codex isn't updating. Yesterday, it was pumping like this level of work yesterday. The usage limit was being used up very quickly. So it doesn't make sense that we're at 100% right now. We should be closer to like, there you go. See, a reset made it work. We're at 75. I was going to guess 70. So it goes to show that I'm an agent whisperer. All right, so we got Ace Bench over here. Now, what I'm going to ask is to please provide a prompt for me to send to another AI agent to continue where we left off. Give me one sec. I feel like that will improve. DB, I've been thinking of getting 2 Claude subscriptions instead of getting Codex and Claude. I am not really about that, man. I think it's definitely worth getting a Codex subscription, man. Have you used Codex? Are you scared because you're just you've been using Claude and it just does such a good job that you don't want to venture out? I highly recommend checking out Codex if you haven't already. It's really good. I feel like the usage goes a lot further. Yeah, check it out. Even just get the Codex Pro plan just to taste it first and see. But I think you'd be impressed, man. I think Codex GPT 5.6 Sol is really good. And you'd be impressed. Sometimes it even beats Fable and it's cheaper. Don't get vendor locked in. Yeah, exactly. Please provide a prompt for me to send. It also gives you the ability to understand, like, okay, if Codex is this good and it's easy to swap, you're going to be more flexible in the future when GLM 5.3 comes out or when Kimi K 2.8 comes out, and you're kind of like, okay, shit, it's easier to move than I thought. Because I noticed there's like in your head, you kind of create these obstacles and you fall under this walled garden. Do you use Pomodoro timer or anything to schedule focus, or do you just flow? 9 times out of 10, I'll just flow. But if I really don't want to do work and I need a bit of motivation, I'll use a Pomodoro timer. Where we left off. This secrets environment thing we need to fix. Man, my laptop is so glitchy right now. I wonder if the new update actually that Fable made has made Ace a little less optimized. If I close Ace. Still quite laggy, but yeah, no, it's definitely just the fact that I've got that many running. Okay. I like that it just runs the test by itself. What harness you use? Like there's so many of them nowadays. I use Conductor and my own app Ace. Those are the two main harnesses that I use. Everything that you use AI inside of is a harness. So the Claude Code app is a harness. The ChatGPT app is a harness. Gemini mobile app is a harness. Whatever AI is being used inside of, because AI is its own thing, and then the UI on top of the AI is the harness. And so that is what people are referring to, is what are you using AI inside of, is essentially what harness do you use. It's the same question. Can't really build inside of Ace while all these different models are testing it and turning it off and stuff. So let me see. Let's have a look at the loop library. The full product evaluation loop. Build sanitized production scale local data under production like settings, inventory, every user facing feature, role, route, button, input, acceptance criteria, and finite risk based edge cases for each. Oh, that's cool. That's a huge test. Test as a real user, logging every bug with reproduction evidence, review findings for shared causes and dependencies, implement coherent fixes that with regression tests, then rerun the full inventory, stop at a clean pass for production sensitive data or destructive action. See, something like this would take up a lot of my tokens. So I kind of want to run that inside of Ace. What was on my to-do list? We had build Ace from inside, run long. I mean, these Claude design compatibility was another one. Bro, I've just realized I haven't even been sharing my screen this whole time. I've been sharing my face. Bro, that would have been like for an hour straight. And no one in the chat told me that I'm not sharing my screen. Bro, the hell? Y'all gotta let me know, man. I didn't realize all I was doing was showing my face the whole time. Jeez, my bad. AirPod Max Aura. Yeah, although these are like low-key on their on their last legs. Nice moustache. Thanks, bro. I need a freaking shave. It's getting a bit rough, getting a bit scruffy. That's how you know I'm locked in. If you don't see me shave in a while, you know I'm locked the fuck in, because like man needs to shave, you know? This one's cool. SEO visibility. The architecture satisfaction loop. Happy with the architecture. After each significant step, live test the system, run auto review. Commit. So error message with then. This one's interesting. Error message rewrite loop. The housekeeper loop. Also kind of cool. Some cool ones here. I kind of want to try this one. This one looks interesting. The housekeeper loop. Review repository or code project for dead code, meaning unreachable or unused code, stale files or comments, unused dependencies, duplication, error, broken links, inconsistent names, and confusing structure. Protect unrelated, active, uncommitted, generated, and uncertain work. Prove one low-risk cleanup. Make the smallest coherent change, then rerun the build, tests, runtime checks, and diff review. Keep only verified improvements. Stop when none remain. Progress stalls, verification is unavailable, or approve is required. Return changes, evidence, and deferred candidate. I kind of want to try that one with Fable. I'm scared to use that with GPT 5.6. I'm not gonna lie. After hearing what I'm hearing. Dude, these are going for a bit too long, man. It's saying we had GPT review the work. Done with concerns. Okay, let's chuck that in here. Let's see what Codex found. Llama is told unavailable secrets exist. Short secrets are never scrubbed. Secret rotation creates a redaction race. The desktop secrets route is published to Cloudflare. Process control environment variables are accepted. It's treated as authentication. A valid maximum size secret crashes redaction and reveals itself. Regain secrets and network through previews. Ace dev falls back to the production vault. This yet, I found 7 P1 blockers and 5 additional issues. How did you earn your first revenue with AI and what challenges did you face? The first ever dollar that I made was from OrMiner, which was this crypto trading bot. It actually kind of went a little viral because the co-founder of Solana, Toli, he has over 1 million followers. He retweeted one of my posts on the business account and it literally generated like over 700 users in like less than 3 days. And we did like $650,000 in trading volume. It was a big success, but it was a bit of a flash in the pan build. Mainly because it was built on top of this project called Ore, and Ore was really trending at the time, and so my app became kind of popular. But then the moment Ore lost that kind of attention, so did my app, and so it was a bit of a 1 month, 2 month flash in the pan kind of project. But yeah, nearly $1 million in trading volume. Pretty crazy for my first project. And that's kind of what actually ignited me to want to Vibecode more, because I was like, damn, as someone who knows zero code, I worked on this tool and it got traction. And that was very rewarding and fun. And I was like, well, I want to do this more. I don't want to live stream everything. And maybe it'll motivate other people who aren't as good as coding like me, want to tackle Vibecoding and building their own apps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Man, I feel like every single prompt is like so freaking long. There's nothing that's like 10 minutes. It's kind of one thing that I liked about Grok was that it wasn't as long. It would be a lot faster. So, I mean, I guess I can just keep stacking. So let's go and let's try this housekeeper loop. Messi Chen, how do you not slam your usage limit if you are running 8 sessions simultaneously? Well, I'm running 9 simultaneously now, but the whole point is I'm trying to slam my usage limits because I've got the 20x Codex max plan. And if you actually look at how much usage I have, it's actually kind of ridiculous. We're at 75% and I have 3 available resets. One of them expires. Oh, they all have ages before they expire. But I'm like, dude, I want to pump through these resets. So let's use my usage up. We're at 70%. I think Codex doesn't use as many tokens as people think it does. It spends a lot of its time in cached mode, meaning it uses less tokens. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how much I can get out of this Codex plan, which is kind of why I'm telling people to branch out and use Codex, because it's really good. It's really good bang for your buck right now. It's not always going to be like this. So enjoy it while it lasts. Yo, Blues, how we doing, bro? How's your app going along? Dude, I fuck with Codex heavy, man. You can see every single one of these is Codex right now. It's way better than Opus 4.8. Everyone's saying that, you know, once Fable is out, if Claude doesn't do something, Codex is going to eat their entire market share, because GPT 5.6 Sol is on a completely different level to Opus 4.8. I would probably cancel my subscription if Fable got taken out. I think my Fable usage is going to run out soon. Is this cursor? No, this is conductor. This is Codex. Yo, also like the stream if you haven't already, man. We got 38 people in the chat right now, close to 40. It's going so well. Been having a ton of friends beta testing for me, so I've been squashing bugs and adding features they want. It's a whole different app than when you saw it last. Bro, that's always the case. I've noticed that happens a lot, man. Like, if you're just locked in, the app is completely different. Every time I have someone new come into the chat, they'll be like, dude, you've made so many big changes with Ace. It looks really cool. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, I've just been locked in. Like when I'm doing 1.9 thousand lines of code in a single freaking chat, I'm sure, and I'm doing that 8 times over, I'm sure there's a huge difference, right? The asset proof now includes content. All 5 files are the untouched stock next.js starter artwork, not Ace assets. The border scans found only intentional duplicate branding assets and template only broken links under vendor.claude skill content, which I will not alter. I also stopped an unhelpful global TypeScript scan and am installing the locked workspace dependencies so checks use the repo's exact toolchain. Yo. Closing in on 3 hours on the live stream, man. If y'all want me to lock in and keep vibe coding, keep pumping out changes for my app, then be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. Let's have a quick look at my YouTube analytics. I'm just curious because that video has been doing really well. I'll also show you a quick little life hack if you're looking to get into making content. But did you know that you can mention words like, damn, we're at $208 estimated revenue for this video so far, which is really high CPM. But did you know you could use words like e-commerce and profit, and you say words like that in your videos, they're going to get higher CPMs and you're going to get paid more per 1,000 views. So if you look at the revenue of this video, you'll see here the CPM is $32 per 1,000 views. That's like the highest you can possibly get. That's literally, I've maxed out my CPM, and all I did was I talked about, like, at the very start of this video, how you could generate something that could make money, and boom, CPM's really high. So yeah, a quick little tip. Small creators can make a lot of money at $30. Dude, at $30 per 1,000 views, if you get 10,000 views at $30, that's, oh, whoops. 10,000 would be 10 times 30. That's $300. So if you get 100,000 views at 30, that's 3,000. You get 1 million views. That's $30,000, guys. That's life-changing right there. 30,000, and it's only 1 million views. Like, that is very achievable. If you post 50 videos in a year, 1 video a week, each of them needs to get 50 divided by 1,000. Each of them needs to get 0. Divided by 1 million. Oh wait, other way around. Each of them needs to get 20,000 views. But you might have one video that gets like 500,000 views, and then a few videos that get 1,000 views. And so, you know, they kind of average out to 20,000. Dude, this is super achievable. Like, that's 1 year of locking in on YouTube, and you can start making 30K. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to see how my channel was doing. But I need to just ship it so I can integrate Meta SDK and TikTok SDK for app ads. Yeah, bro. Blues, you just got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be too much of a perfectionist and never release the app, bro. It looks more than ready for going live. Been watching recently. I've been using Fable to make the plan and have Codex conduct because it's so much better with the tool calling. Interesting. So you have Fable orchestrate and Codex just build off of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Concurrent file permission race, so the first install failed without changing. You should check out Meta ads, by the way, Blizz, if you haven't already. Meta ads library. I don't know if you've checked this out yet, but it shows you winning adverts. It basically shows you you can search up competitors and how much money they're spending and stuff. It's really handy. I can't be asked to sign in, but yeah, check it out. No, because Ronaldo better. Messi, bro, you gonna take that? Dude, I'm on Spain to win, by the way. Spain is coming home with the freaking World Cup. I'm telling you right now, Spain's gonna win. England's actually playing better now. They were playing a bit shit at the start. So I think, yeah, England, Spain, France, and Argentina. It's gonna be interesting. We got Spain versus France tomorrow. That'll be a good game to watch. Oh, nice. Cool. It's cool to see that it's testing the new image input for Ace. Nice little paperclip here. Sending some more stuff. Text. Pasted image. England, bro. Of course you're England. Honestly, anyone but Argentina. Yeah, I'm not vibing with Argentina, especially after the Egypt game. I'm not going to lie. That was a bit dirty, bro. I feel like Egypt should have won that game. Well, they should have at least drew. Also, the Norway game, man. Haaland didn't get that pass by Slothvov or whatever his name is. Man, that was tough. And Haaland pushing the guy. Like, I genuinely think Norway should have won, but England came home with it. So, I mean, props to England, I guess. Dude, Saka was playing so well yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before. I'm kind of a bit stalemated right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just trying to think what else we could work on. Act as the regenerate button is still being freaking worked on. Jesus Christ. All I said was merge to dev. So why is that taking so long? It's doing a test. I mean, I guess I'd rather it take longer to merge. macOS pattern guard has passed, while the main and Windows suites are still running. I'll merge as soon as both turn green, then follow the developer runtime publisher through completion. Okay. The Egypt game was super crazy, bro. This looks nice, though. What else is there? So we got the to-do list. We kind of got to wait on these a little bit. I mean, we're kind of doing that. Run long loops. Claude design compatibility we need to do. So we got implement auto app fact. We need to do that. Skills implementation we've done. We kind of done that. I'm not entirely sure what this is, so I'm going to get rid of it. Add website heat maps. We haven't done that. Referrals. token estimates, compact command, feature requests, built-in usage limits, and also AI, deciding what AI workflow is best for a prompt. FAQ we've done. For the website. Remove Mac wording on the docs we've also done. Cron breaks on restart we fixed. Stage creation is currently broken due to the new implementation of the canvas. We fixed that as well. ACE for app testing over to HTML viewer in app. That is actually something that I want to add. I'm looking to add a preview inside of the app. HTML viewer in the app. That way users will be able to preview their build all inside of ACE without having to open up like a new web page on the computer or anything like that. It just feels a lot cleaner inside of ACE. I think also, when connecting Codex, a big thing that Codex is able to do, which we can't utilize inside of ACE right now, is also image generation. When we generate an image with Codex, like there's no way to preview that image. So I think it's like some sort of previewer inside of ACE. And I kind of want to design it first. So inside of ACE, I want to create a previewer for HTML as well as image generation, because right now ChatGPT can generate images, but there's no way to support this functionality with previews. So I want to create this HTML previewer / image generation previewer inside of ACE that allows the user to actually preview the app. Can you create 3 alternatives for how this could look? One thing I want to test real quick before is how much usage I have left on Claude, because I think we're almost out, at least for Fable. We're out for Fable, so we can swap to Opus. That's fine. We'll just swap to Opus. Just say max effort. Alright, cool. I'll let that run and I'll wait to add this. Let me ask Codex. Is there a limit to how many Codex instances I can run? Currently I have 10 Codex instances running all simultaneously. Can I do 20? I have the 20x max plan. All are running on 5.6 Sol max effort. Checking the current official codex limits because concurrency on max plan quotas can change, and 20x doesn't necessarily mean 20 simultaneous instances. That's true. I'm pretty sure it's unlimited, right? Pluses codex rate usage, only not 20 concurrent. Yes, you can try running 20 separate codex tasks simultaneously. OpenAI does not publish a fixed account level. I think it could be taking longer because my Mac is slower. So if I like close some of these apps maybe. Don't think it's going to help a lot, but do something. Why you work on Conductor? Is it better than using Claude or Codex separately? What is the difference? Conductor is really good because you can use Claude and Codex in the same environment. I really like the ability. This one thing alone should sell it to you, where you can get GPT 5.6 Sol to build the code or feature or whatever. Then you come up here on the top right, and you can then get a separate agent to review. For example, Fable 5. Review everything inside of this branch or this feature. And then this is really good to create like a bulletproof pipeline for committing features to your GitHub repo, because you're getting two agents' opinions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because the agents have biases on how they're trained. And so by getting a second opinion from a different agent, it can help a lot. Oscar Gonzalez, how you doing, brother? Conductor doesn't stop slop though. I mean, yeah, it is AI coding at the end of the day. Hey, first time here. What are you building? Sorry if you get the question 10 times a day. I'm working on ACE, my agentic coding environment. This is my ACE app right here. kind of looks like this, but it basically allows you to connect multiple AI agents together. It's taking a long time to start up. I'm thinking I might need to get that reviewed, but it's probably just because I've got so many freaking agents working right now. When's Ace deving Ace? Dude, I want to get that going ASAP, but I can't right now because all of these instances have something to do with Ace dev, and they're all gonna like change the environment and like restart and do random shit. So I can't even freaking do it. But yeah, I got Ace Bench set up here. I want to get Ace Bench going, but the moment you get out of Ace, the moment Ace gets restarted, the whole thing that it's working on stops. Shaking my head, Doobie, shaking my head. Yeah, but I guess it's not worth to have it when I have GPT Plus Claude Pro because it would drain my usage in one prompt. Not necessarily, because you might have to end up using that usage to debug your app anyway. So by having them do a quick test, you can always just do it like this. So have, you know, one agent build like GPT 5.6 Soul, or if you want like 5.6 Terra or Luna, and then have another agent review. You can use Codex to review as well. You don't have to swap to Fable. You could even use like Sonnet 5 to review. Like, it's just having that additional opinion to look over what's been done. I need this strongly because, you know, I'm not a developer. I'm not a software engineer or anything like that. I don't know anything about coding. So I fully rely on my AI agents to code. And so I need them to be able to assess each other's work. Otherwise, I'm screwed. So I just let them argue with each other and debate with each other, and it works great. Until Vince comes along and looks at my code base and is like, what the fuck? I should probably commit. Yo, we're so close to 50 likes on the freaking live stream, man. I don't think we've hit 50 likes in like forever, so that would be pretty dope. Okay, so it looks like it's Ace is being Claude Design is now Vince as a service. VAS. Ashish, I'm doing good, brother. How are you? Good to have someone like Vince, for sure. Very handy. 3 distinct form factors. So we got a canvas frame, preview doc, and spotlight. I already think preview doc is going to win, but let's have a look at how Ace Design handles this. Sorry, Claude Design. Doobie pays me in subscriptions. Yeah, of course, for sure. I'll give you 2 likes, wait. Bro, how many accounts you got, man? How many accounts you got? Yo, Alex, have you paid Vince yet? I heard what he did for you. When are you OSSing the benchmark? We're waiting on... a few things. But we've actually changed Ace Bench a lot. Were you here yesterday, Alex? I can't remember if I saw you on the live stream yesterday, but we're changing it to a vote. So... I want my Ace subscription wired to Vince. I can do that for you, bro. I can do that for you. That's funny. So we've changed Ace Bench a lot, where you can literally, it's now a people's choice. So you do a blind vote, because I feel like there's a lot of benchmarking with these new models. If you look at Cursor Bench, for example, you look at the fine print, scroll down a little bit. Look at how high Grok ranked. It's literally ranked higher than Fable, which is a bit interesting. I don't know if it should be that high. And so if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see in the fine print, Grok 4.5 has an advantage on Cursor Bench. An earlier snapshot of the Cursor code base was unintentionally included in training. The exact score impact is unclear. Like, bro, you're telling me that the scores were literally corrupted. Grok's scores were corrupted, yet they still published it on Cursor Bench. And so what I want to do is, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, all right? I'm not the guy that's able to create the most bulletproof benchmark system in the world. So I'm not even going to try and attempt that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create Ace Bench, which is now going to be this, which is basically going to allow users to vote on which model is the best through a blind testing. And yeah, I'll show you the design system. But it's basically going to be people's choice. So look at this. It's basically like this. We're going to do a couple visual tests and a couple of different things like lava lamp, storefront, arcade game, recipe card, SaaS dashboard, like some random shit. And users are going to be blind provided like random generations from different models. And we're going to rate them based off of people's votes and the cost per generation. And then we're going to have this little sweet spot here. This is just purely mock, by the way. And you're going to be able to review. We'll have like this hero card, which shows the highest votes. But yeah, this is kind of the system that I'm thinking of. And I think this is going to be cool because it puts power in the user. The users get to decide. I'm going to train a model on your benchmark so I can win. That'll be funny. Doobie, can I submit my model, Contra? Yeah, of course you can. But you just have to give me full access to the model, and you need to allow me to use it inside of Ace. And yeah, we can make that happen, man. No worries. No walking furries, mate. No walking furries. How are you going to stop people from charring by putting tons of fake votes in? It's going to be authenticated, obviously, by like you're going to have to either sign up with your Google account or whatever. But that's a pretty easy fix. We can do that? All right, bet. Alex agrees, lol. Bro, are they... Yo, where the frick did Conductor go? What the hell? Did Conductor just terminate itself? I'm confused. I think Conductor had a heart attack, guys. I'm gonna move Conductor over here. Let's see if there's... Let me just check Codex usage. If usage is good, I'm just gonna pump, because all these have now paused. We're at 65%. This is now running through our second 20x plan in 2 days, guys, with Codex. That's actually kind of ridiculous. All right, let's have a quick look at this. Continue. Secrets, ENV. Waiting for the fresh. Now reconciling. I'll just say continue. Home project, rather than making it a long hold, can we do continue? See, how is this single feature taking that long? Like, it's taking a long time to edit the code base. I'm trying to understand why. We've merged to dev. This is regarding the system, so let's have a look at that. Inside of an AI agent. I can just bring one up. Use clerk for auth. We can use clerk for auth. Yeah, we can do that. It is surprising when the company generating the score and the owner of the incorrectly rated AI model are the same entity. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's have a look. If I was to pick... Man. Okay, so we've got an agent block. We've got this generate system prompt here, the new feature that we've just unlocked. New feature unlock. Dude, why is this so laggy, bro? Ace dev. I think we're inside of Ace, so let me get rid of this. My computer's about to freaking break down right now. Secrets.env. This full suit is running on the merge tree. So there's should be a few changes right now. Yo, that's a cool dab emoji. I didn't even know you could do that. Continue. I gotta make all these continue now. So this was regarding system generation. Why is AceDeb not opening? No, I do not want my FaceTime open. There we go. All right, so open up Ace Bench. We've got this agent block. Wait for Grok to show up. Just checking connection. Any moment now, please. Please work. All right, screw it. We'll just use Codex. In here, we've got a generate prompt now. So I'm just gonna say, you are a review agent for my app. Now, if I press this generate button, it should generate, turn this into an actual system prompt. Please work. I asked this before, but I forgot. What is your hardware? My hardware is a MacBook Pro 2022 model, 14 inch. I think 1 terabyte storage. Okay, this is taking ages. Expand your direction into an editable system prompt. Okay, it worked though. Role dot review agent for AceBench. You are dot a review agent for the AceBench app. Your job is to review submitted work, code, content, or output produced within the app. Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Bro, that feature works so well. This is exactly what I wanted it to do. Correctness and functionality accuracy. Does the work do what it claims to do? Yes, this is the system prompt. I like that it's somewhat generalized. Review approach. Like this is perfect. Now, what would be even better, I feel, is rather than getting the user to generate their own system prompt, there's going to be a few that always come to the surface, like a review agent, a build agent, etc., etc. So maybe those are kind of templates that we already have. So I'm gonna make it a toggle now. Oh, this is pretty sick, but we'll get to that in a second. The generate button is functioning exactly as intended. One thing that I would like to alter is there's going to be a few system prompts that are going to show up consistently. You know, we've got the review agent, we've got the build agent, we've got a handful of system prompts that are going to constantly be used over and over again. And so, could we turn the generate button into a drop-down menu called or actually, could we connect the system prompt to the harness role? And when a user decides to pick a certain harness, for example, researcher or scheduler or tool runner or human gate or critic or QA or whatever harness they decide, we have one generated for each of those harness roles. I think we should also rename unassigned to custom. And when it's in custom, the generate button shows or regenerate button shows, and users can kind of create their own custom role. But if we have these templated roles ready, then users don't need to regenerate their own system prompt, if that makes sense, because they're already saved within these different harness roles. So can we do that? I don't know if I was very clear with that prompt. I feel like it's a bit messy, but kind of makes sense. Review agent, we've got the build agent, we've got a handful of system prompts that are going to consistently be used over and over again. Could we connect the system prompt to the harness role? When a user decides to pick a certain harness, for example, researcher, we have one pre-generated for each of those harness roles. I think we should also rename unassigned to custom. Also, consider merging some of these harness roles as well. Like QA and reviewer, kind of the same thing, no? Critic and QA kind of feel similar as well. Approver and publisher, some of these feel very similar and too close to each other. So can we merge some of these? And if you feel like we're missing some harness roles as well, can you create new ones? I might even slash goal this. All right, let's run it. Now let's have a look at the previews. It's kind of cool. Okay, so this is the canvas frame. So inside of the canvas, there's a frame. Okay. Preview doc. So there's a preview doc inside of canvas. Interesting. And you can what? Just get rid of it? How do I open it back up? Ah, by pressing this button. Okay, that's not bad. I don't mind preview doc. Spotlight, it pops up in front. Interesting. Tablet. I think we just have PC and mobile. I think we just have PC and mobile for the preview sizes. And I'm leaning towards the preview dock. Can we also add a draw slash text tool, which allows users to kind of highlight certain areas? And I think the way it would function is it takes a screenshot of whatever page they're on to draw, and they can, you know, circle certain things or scribble on things and build like that, saying what they like and don't like. I think the comment feature needs to be really intuitive, and how it's going to work is I think it needs to be a bubble, a text bubble with a point at the bottom, kind of like a pin drop on a map, and it points directly at the certain thing. Maze game. Probably, I think what I could do, I think the flow for Scribble is how it should work is users circle something and then a text box pops up, kind of like how I mentioned, but it involves the user having to circle or highlight a certain area first. So when the user clicks on the drawing icon, the pencil icon, there should be some sort of tooltip or pop-up that says highlight the area you want to alter or comment on or something like that. And then users can like circle that area, and then a little text bubble pops up. Okay, that's a big one. Can I test out Ace? I mean, I can't really give out Ace for free, unfortunately. Otherwise, it'll kind of be unfair to all the people that have paid for it. I will say, though, I am working on trials. So Ace, in the near future, will have trials available where you can just sign up for free. Test out Ace. If you don't like it, then you don't have to pay. You know, maybe you have one thing that you want to work on inside of Ace, like some sort of orchestration or complex workflow, get that build done, and then just cancel your Ace subscription. That's definitely possible eventually. Oh, I like the fact that you can expand and reduce, and then you click it again to get rid of it. Okay, cool. Interesting. Build and test are running in the background on the cleanup branch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Claude controlling my browser right now. Not sure what it's doing there. Dude, Claude they need to add an update where they get rid of these groups, because I've noticed I just end up getting a bunch of them and it's really annoying having to delete them. We made quite a big improvement today, but I think we're not ready to commit to main. Mainly because I don't think we've optimized the code. Like, it feels a little bit laggy. Wait. Okay, it's creating. Waiting for workspace. Has this 79 days all been dedicated to a single project? No, it has not. You can look in the description for all the different projects we've built and how much money we've made from them. One thing I've noticed is when you double click on an agent and expand into its settings, on the top left hand side it shows like just placeholder D, and I think what we should actually be showing is the model logo. We already have the assets, so we should be utilizing it. I've asked this before. Are the 10 instances working right now are not conflicting each other? How do you manage that? Yeah, so it's definitely tricky, but each of them has their own like branch or work tree, and they all kind of work on different things. And when I go to commit and merge, I then sometimes have to like fix conflicts. But it's nothing crazy that I can't manage. There are sometimes issues with and conflicts, but you know, Fable and GPT 5.6 can just fix it. And not using placeholder. Maybe we gotta start using extra high. Max is taking too long. It gets the shit done, but let's see if we got the new design. Got it. 3 changes. Drop tablet. Keep just desktop plus mobile. Build the draw to comment tool with the pin drop bubble. Keep refining the dock since that's your lean. The annotation tool lives in the shared surface, so it works in every placement. The flow. Click the pencil. A hint appears. Circle the area you want to change. The live preview freezes into an annotatable snapshot. You scribble, circle a region, and a pin drop bubble pops up. Anchored to it with a keep change toggle plus text. Save notes, collapse to, yes, perfect. Dude, this preview thing is going to be cool. It's going to make Ace lit AF. My Fable resets tomorrow, so I'll probably get Fable to work on this new feature, the preview feature. Man, I've been coding so much this last week. I've literally gone through 2.5 Fable usages for a 20x max plan. I've now, in the last 2 days, nearly gone through 2 Codex 20x max plans as well. Like, bruh, I am pumping through these tokens. It's actually crazy. Coop asking how I started. I mean, you can go watch the first live stream, man. You can see I started with barely any knowledge whatsoever and just iterated and iterated. I'm like, picture me as like a loop that's gone and iterated like 1,000 times now. Like, this is the 1,000th iteration. I wonder if the maze game that it generated actually works. Yo, that's kind of cool. Claude design, man. I actually love Claude design. Probably one of my favorite features on Claude. It's just so freaking good. Like, there's no way that I would have gotten this far without it. It's just so intuitive. You get to test your feature before you put in all the effort to code it. Like, Witty Wally, Willy Nilly. Yo, Alex, are you Aussie as well? So I think the setup that I want for Ace bench is I'll have Fable orchestrate Grok. And so now they're going to debate, but I'll probably go orchestrate. And I want Fable to be able to orchestrate like a few of these guys. The way that orchestration works is whoever's at the peak gets the lead role. So you can see now this is the highest, it gets the lead role. So it's really easy to just like pick who you want to be the leader. Bro, love the Ace onboarding. Did you prompt each section? My app is white labeled, so every client has a different flow. Would highlighting each step and adding a face overlay. I prompted every single step, yes. So I literally, what happened is I generated each section and I recorded each section, which is like 10 seconds each. And then I let Fable 5 analyze everything I'm saying. I copied the script of everything I'm saying with a transcription tool. I pasted it into Fable and I was like, look, I'm trying to get the user through this interactive onboarding where I touch their screen and use their screen to, you know, toggle and change how Ace is so they can understand how each thing works. Can you help me with this? And it took a couple revisions. Like, it didn't have a mouse initially, so it looked weird because the user couldn't see what was happening because there was no mouse. So I told it to create a mouse. I noticed even once the mouse came to be, it wouldn't like work properly. So I did that. Yeah, it's just got to keep iterating. Right now, I've been only using Claude Code in my terminal, but I've been also wanting to use multiple different instances like you in Conductor. Is Conductor good and how much is it? Conductor is completely free. It only works inside of Mac though, so you got to make sure you have a Mac. Also, I think you need to branch out of Claude and try Codex because it's really freaking good. Can you go to Conductor and tell it to give you the whole prompt if another person is trying to build the same thing? Tell it to give you the whole prompt if another person is trying to build the same thing for their app. If you do this, I'll sign up for Ace right now. Tell Conductor to give you the whole prompt if another person is trying to build the same thing for their app. What do you mean, James Shill? I'm a bit confused. You've confused me. I don't know what you're asking. Like, you can, just like any AI, you can literally ask, you can create an AI instance and be like, hey, reviewing my entire code base, could you create a prompt for me to send to another person? The onboarding process specifically, I built it with Fable. I can just walk you through what I did. How about that? So all you got to do is go inside of whatever coding agent you use and just be like, hey, I want to create an interactive onboarding experience. Could you please, let me see if it works. A user is asking me for the prompt that to create an interactive onboarding experience similar to Ace, where when a user signs up, the camera of me pops up and I click through the app and show the user different parts of the app. Could you please provide a prompt for me to send to this user so they can have a similar onboarding experience to Ace's, specifically around when my base pops up and I walk through the user creating a board. The prompt should be a bit more generalized as their app is different to Ace's, but they're looking to utilize the same vibe. Let's see if this works. So Claude Design has created the annotation tool. Yes, they do. They do have this annotation tool. Okay. I kind of like how it minimizes and expands the canvas. Kind of cool. And now I can just literally grab this and then circle this area. Ooh, that's cool. Change it. Keep it. This is cool. Wow. See, this is why I like Claude Design, because it just came up with something that I didn't even consider, but it looks so cute. Look at the little heart drawn love heart as well. Like, that's nice. Like, that's such a nice little touch. What do I need to start on the same journey? Like, what are the prerequisites in terms of money and skill? You need at least a 12-month runway. You need 0 coding experience. You just need to have grit. You need, I don't know. You just need to work hard, man. Like, you just got to lock in. It's as easy as getting started. You just need a little bit of money. Oh, such an adorable circle. Yeah, pretty much. How's this going? Let me get rid of some of these apps. My laptop's having a fart. We've just got too many instances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 AI Codex instances, all working, altering thousands of lines of code. How much is little bit though? I mean, look at the coding subscriptions, man. You got to pay for like a $200 Claude plan. You got to pay for a $200 Codex plan if you want to go as hard as me, or you just maybe start with a $20 plan and go from there. But you're paying for tuition fees because you're gonna learn the most building. You will learn from like watching the tutorials and stuff, but you're gonna learn way more if you actually go out and build, make mistakes, do a full day debugging session on one tiny little feature. That's how you learn, and so that's gonna cost a lot of money. And so you need to make sure to, you'll be able to fund that learning experience. You got 15K USD saved? That's plenty. Depends on your living expenses. If you live at home or if you live, in an apartment and you pay rent. Like what I did was I dropped everything and I just went 100% into this. Can you do that as well? Or, what your circumstances are obviously different to mine. So, think, how can I do this for 12 months straight? Maybe you have a job and you got to spend every day after work spending like 4 hours or something. Also, guys, be careful. He's pre-recorded. This is not real. Alex, you cracked me up, bro. Oh, you never even asked me if you were Aussie, bro. You never even told me. Yo, this is the prompt. The James Shill. Let me chuck it on a... Are you in the Discord? I'll chuck it in the Discord. If anyone wants access to this prompt to create an interactive onboarding experience, then it's in the Discord. There's a link at the bottom. What am I having for lunch today? I am having chicken and veg. Roast veggies and chicken. I'll chuck it in the vibe chat. Oh, James Hill. I've been calling you James Shill this whole time. That's so funny. Prompt to create... if you're in school, I'll just chuck it in the school community. Guys, join the school community. It's completely free. What are you waiting for? My laptop's literally like so laggy right now with all these different instances. Let me get rid of a bit of this. Oh my God. Note to self, never run more than like 7 AI instances. Otherwise your computer's going to have a fart. Let me try something. I have my Mac over here. You guys don't mind if you can't see Conductor, right? If I chuck it inside of my Mac, it should run smoother. Yeah, way smoother. Okay, and now everything should be smooth here. Yep, cool. Okay, let's go to school. Let's chuck this. Prompt to create an interactive onboarding for your app. There you go, bro. I better see that Ace subscription, man. I worked hard for that. I worked goddamn hard for that. It's in the school community. Join the school community. Link in the description. Check it out. There's a couple people already requesting. Let's go ahead and accept these guys. feel like execution's gotten very cheap with AI, and the bottleneck now is coming up with good ideas. Not quite. There's plenty of good ideas out there already. Just copy whatever the apps that are making millions of dollars are doing. The execution is actually in the marketing. The marketing is the hardest part right now. So you're kind of right, kind of wrong. How do you come up with new ideas? There's Reddit, seeing other people that are doing things successful. Check out Sensor Tower, which is basically this tool that lets you... Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. I love this. Can we create a separate page for the preview doc so I can export it and the AI agent just sees the preview doc so they don't get confused? Yeah, check out Sensor Tower, Mustano. You can see other apps that are doing well. You just got to copy, bro. Like, to get good at the start, just copy. Don't try and be like this original king. Everything has already been built in the world. Nothing is original. So just copy what's already working and try and get your first $1,000. If you can't even get your first $1,000 from like copying a successful app, then how are you going to do it with an original idea? You know, start simple, start small. Don't make it too complicated and go from there. And on that note, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you for joining. I got to go to the gym. I'm trying to get back into the gym. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to get... Dude, see, look at that shit. My biceps used to be way bigger than that, man. They're looking tiny right now, bro. I got tiny ass biceps. They used to be a lot bigger than that. So clearly need to go back on that shit. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate y'all keeping me company as always. Hopefully less laggy next stream. But yeah. Thank you, Mustano. Thank you, Neutronic. Thank you, James Hill. Thank you, Alex, Vince, Coop. Appreciate y'all for joining. Thank you, thank you. Dude, my laptop is so laggy right now. It's like hard to even end the stream. How was I vibe coding in this environment, dude? What the hell? Dude. All right. Anyway, I'll catch you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. And yeah, same time tomorrow. I'll schedule a live stream. And yeah, bye.